All right. We are now live waiting for Dean, but there he is. Welcome to the. There's Dean. Boink. You got the wrong background. Can't hear you. Let me unmute you. Their mic isn't connected. So you got to change your background and figure out your mic situation. But anyways, welcome to the live chat. Hey, we're going to talk about CP3, Poole, Draymond, myth busting that one. Draymond myth busting. I've actually asked if Travis, his trainer, can come on, but haven't gotten a reply yet. So we'll keep
Draymond's trainer?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
But that's probably 25% chance.
All right.
You're kind of dark. You got the light?
Oh, here, I can go see if I can find it. It might.
Okay.
Might be where I left
All right. So he'll be back. So let's give it some time before we dive full on into it. By the way, I wanted to mention, so let me pull up my description, video details, description. I want to keep track of the timestamps. I should go ahead and open this extra screen over here. My fault. I thought I could get away with just, nah, it's hard, man. It's hard to deal with that screen. We'll just go with two screens. Bruce in house. Glad you're on Twitch. Oh, Bruce, have you heard of what's the thing that's competing with Twitch right now? Kick. Have you heard of Kick? So let me throw that in the Twitch. Have you heard of Kick? And should we get one? Oops, I was planning to. Cool, guys. I know this background's crazy, right? Steph gonna play to definitely be playing golf, if anything. All right, cool, Bruce. Thanks for the 411 on that. So what was I gonna say? Oh, Dean. Let's add him back. Dean Chambers.
What's up, Rich? Please splash the like button.
Oh, I covered my camera by accident there. I'm trying to get right in the middle. Let's see. Now it doesn't work? Okay. Nah, that'll have to do. And anyway, you can get closer to your laptop so that, yeah, we're about even, a little symmetrical. But anyway, yeah, real quick, we can, you know what, Dean, why don't you go answer everybody's questions in the comments right away? Like there's a question about Donte. So you can just, we'll check those off. No update is the answer to that, but you can expound if you want to.
What's up, Bruce on Twitch? Yeah, you're right.
Lenny Lopez. All right, so let me go and do some housekeeping. But
so I haven't heard anything about Donte.
Right,
which makes sense because free agency begins in July 1st, and that's probably when all that news is gonna start coming out. You probably want to leak contract negotiations stuff anyway.
Yeah, but tampering right now.
Yeah, but I would think that the Warriors would still try to at least meet with him, where it's not just he's gone. Hopefully, I don't know that, but I would hope that that's what happens. Trades for CP3, like us trading CP3 away after I don't, honestly, maybe, but I don't think that's what's going to happen personally. Play the Sean Livingston role. What's up, Blasian? OCD.
Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Oops. I got to silence that one. I'm trying to get the YouTube version of the live chat up so that I can respond better and people as necessary if there's anybody. Let's see.
What's up, Katie? Parth?
Oh, there we go.
Blasian, he did sign a 2-year contract, but the mid-level that the amount of mid-level that he signed had a player option after the first year. So it went from $4.5 million to $725, I think it was.
Be sure to splash the like button.
Yes, please.
Likes.
Yep.
And I'm going to get the live chat up there. Wanted to address James Warner. Good comment. The thing is James.
JP?
Who did you propose trading for JP at that time, right? That's the thing back then. But I don't know.
I mean, I put out a trade proposal at the trade deadline, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe that was
so
later.
we've done that. But I was always under the impression run it back. And then, as I said last live stream, then you had the Porzingis trade that went to Celtics, right? And then I'm thinking, well, if the Celtics are making moves, then maybe the norm is going to become you got to make moves. And sure enough, after Dunleavy went on the podium and said, yeah, we want Jordan Poole for at least 4 more years, went and traded him like 3 or 4 days later, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, well, now I've got to adjust all my observational barometers. And now I've got to go, okay, Dunleavy is part of the new wave of the NBA where if you don't win the championship, you don't run it back. You have to do something where you make a move, and pretty interesting move. We can segue right into CP3. Again, Dean made pretty reasonable trade scenario of Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks from Detroit straight up for Jordan Poole. We probably would have never thought of CP3 for whatever reason, but Dean, from there, take it away. I know you got a lot to say on it. We talked about you texted me some, and so.
Oh, the CP3 deal.
Yeah. So now we're at a point where it's like, it feels like Dunleavy is in the new era of that NBA where there's a little bit of gunslinging going on, where it's Boston is gonna not run it back, and actually a lot of Boston people on Twitter, Celtics Twitter, a lot of guys that I respect, such as Keith Smith, they were all saying we're good with running it back because they do have a good squad. And by the way, Dean loves Jaylen Brown so much that he's proposed possibly trading for Wiggins, right? And Kuminga. So there is that camp, but then you see Boston sort of gunslinging them. Let's go out and get KP, right?
Yeah.
And then now Dunleavy, to me, this is more of a gunslinging move. Oh, we're going to get CP instead of Jordan Poole. So I think we're going to see more of the NFL style of, upgrading your team. But also the CBA has really come into play with these trades. So floor is yours, Dean. I think you can explain it better than I can.
Well, it's possible that they move Chris Paul. I mean, as Rich was saying, it's that type of league more, and the CBA is pushing that a lot, especially this year. But first is that, Chris Paul's contract is not guaranteed next year, or it's the guaranteed money on the contract is much lower. So you can choose to not pick up that guarantee and only take a small price of what I guess waiving him would cost, right? Which immediately opens up a lot of cap space depending on how much Draymond signs for, Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Jules. I hope not. I was just looking that up real quick. Clay to the Kings. Anyway, back to Chris Paul. That frees up cap space, and I think it may be possible to sign someone into that and then re-sign Thompson on top of that cap space because he'll be a free agent next year, assuming that they don't sign him to an extension sometime this year. So there's that side of it where you could possibly open up between a $20 and $30 million contract in free agency by playing it out with Paul with 1 year and exercising the option to not guarantee the rest of his contract. So that's a little bit of financial flexibility, and it also makes that Jordan Poole, Chris Paul slot of money still open to be used rather than just losing it if you're way over the tax. At least that's what I gathered from this article that I read. And it seemed to me to be, both a flexibility next year financially and in terms of, if you have the Warriors with core trio around with cap space, I mean, that's a contender for something big to happen, I think, because there are players who'd love to come play here, I'm sure, the system and the stars that the team has and everything. But that's kind of not as fun as trying to think of, what will actually happen this upcoming season, why they might have traded for Chris Paul. The first thing is we're always bad in Steph's minutes, seemingly, right? I mean, not always, back in 2016, 15, 16, 17, but even then, the difference between Steph on the court and Steph off the court has always been a thing that the Warriors have been trying to address. And there's been talk of a solid backup point guard for a lot of years, before there was any possibility Chris Paul could have been traded to the Warriors. The team has been talking about that. And obviously, Chris Paul addresses that. Like, say what you want about him not being able to get it done in the playoffs, and that's true. I mean, I've felt that way. It's bad luck, and it's also maybe the situation of the teams that he's been on, which have always been a little varied. Say what you want about that. Chris Paul wins basketball games. He always has. Every team he's gone to, their wins have gone up. And you can't think of a steadier presence out there just to keep a lead than putting Chris Paul in for Steph Curry, right? So that's great. Maybe the amount of pick and roll, whatever. I think Chris Paul ran the most pick and roll of any player in the league, and the Warriors as a team ran the least. But I don't know. This dude's a smart, tough, adaptable kind of player, and maybe we also adapt to him and run a little more pick and roll. I don't think that's a terrible thing. It doesn't change the fact that when Steph's out there, we're going to run the best offense for him, which is the motion offense, it seems like. That's his favorite way to play. But one more thing hit me with the cold, sudden fury of a divine messenger last night. Whoa, wait a minute. Chris Paul's really good at developing young bigs. He does that very well. He gets them paid. He gets them playing great. He's done it with our guy, David West.
DJD, future All-Star. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. David West, Blake Griffin, Clint Capella obviously was not quite the dynamic players, I guess, that those other guys were. But he really worked well with him, and DeAndre, So I'm wondering if having Chris Paul be the playmaker for Jonathan Kuminga's play finishing, I can see that working real wonders in the second unit, and giving Jonathan Kuminga more of the concrete role that I think he's been wanting. Jonathan Kuminga, that is, and the steady minutes too that obviously he wants. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to find role in minutes, as long as you're not, pushing for me over this other guy, especially like in the playoffs or whatever. That's where, okay, that may have been something Kuminga was doing, but his exit interview, he definitely seemed like he gets what's being asked of him, and I think this would be tremendously helpful if he's able to stay healthy and willing to follow Chris Paul's lead. It's also a toughness, a competitiveness, a leadership point on Chris Paul. There are times probably on this team where Draymond might be able to play the good cop if he needs to, because we know CP3 will get in you, and he'll have to give up being the leader to being a leader. Obviously, we know that's true because really Steph's the leader. He's the engine of everything on the Warriors. And Clay, you have to respect the way Clay does things, right? Draymond's going to have his opinion. He's going to be, I'm trying not to even think about a scenario where he leaves, because that'd be one of the worst days of my life. I can tell you that, just emotionally, and also I think it'd be really bad for the team. But Draymond and CP with the refs should be interesting. Absolutely, man. Have fun refereeing those games, and have fun with the techs. There's going to be some technicals probably that we're going to deal with, but that's okay. I guess the final point I would make is everybody worries about the turnovers, and CP3 is immediate. He's a fire extinguisher in terms of that stuff. The dude will get 8 assists and have like 2 turnovers a game. It's kind of Iguodala-like, really. So it starts to get a little sloppy out there. You better believe Steve Kerr is going to use CP3 like a hammer. Just nope, we're not doing that now. So I'm happy about the trade. I'm excited about it, and even as much as I really like Jordan Poole, I love his game. I love his toughness. The dude played every single game for us last year. He didn't miss a single game, even with the ankle injuries and everything. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure he played every single game. And it was obviously a terrible season for him, in terms of you could tell there was already a little like the young bull starting to look down the old bulls, even if they're on the same team, a little bit like, yeah, I'm coming. And Clay said, "Oh, I love beating Jordan Poole at the 3-point contest in Japan," and then the punch happens, and you guys know what happened, but people obviously take Poole's side on that, as they should. But then there's constant talk about it to the point where, oh, so you guys all I'm not just talking about the team or anything. I'm talking about the fans and the media, national, local, everything. You guys all took my side. Now you won't stop talking about it constantly, And then he pulled through that and averaged career highs in points and assists, and came off the bench. You go into the playoffs and he's got a bad ankle. For a while, I think his quickness, his lateral quickness maybe wasn't quite there, which, right now Poole relies upon his quickness a lot. He's got two cats and if a cheetah has a hurt paw, it struggles to hunt probably. And Jordan Poole's hurt, and there was a lot of pressure, and obviously there was a little bit of stress within the team. And again, like, you're 24, there's Steph, Clay, and Draymond in the locker room, and the media is surrounding your chair after a tough game where you missed basically a game-tying shot, which is wide open, a shot that you've hit all last season, and they're just around you like a bunch of vultures or something, And so, a new location with no pressure, be the man, take all the shots you want, prove that you can be a winning player. I mean, I don't see any reason why, if he's healthy, Jordan Poole can't be an all-star level player from the East. I mean, look, Utah is not exactly Warriors country, and there are Warriors fans everywhere. And there was an all-star game, so obviously a lot of Warriors fans there. But I saw so many Jordan Poole jerseys at the all-star game in Utah. I saw as many Jordan Poole jerseys probably as I saw Steph Curry jerseys, or close to it.
Wow,
really, he's a popular dude. People love the way he plays, and I just hope he finds himself in a winning situation again, because there's not too many 22-year-olds who can be that important to a team that wins the title against that level of competition out there in the league. Zion's never made the playoffs. Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, they haven't been out of the first round. And both of those guys have had up and down playoff seasons before. Jordan had one incredible high playoff season and one, that probably wasn't really at his average, but he was a little hurt, and just the difference between height and being slightly below average because of stress and the public eye being on you so much and ankle, and like, it wasn't that bad. That's what most 20-something-year-olds are like at that age in the playoffs. So anyway, I'm going on and on about Poole, but I just I don't think I would undo the trade because it makes sense, and because I think it'll keep Draymond, and Draymond's established here. But I hope Poole makes it, man, because I don't know, I just really like him. And ladies of DC, look out.
you mean baddies?
Yes, yeah, sure.
There's a certain term for that.
They're not goodies? Why not? I don't get that.
That's not the word right now. Let's
right.
see. Percy, I thought Poole was going to get moved from some of the things I heard. Kerr and Draymond podcast. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he wasn't happy here.
Kerr and Dray podcast alluded to needing more veterans, which then, if you're not a veteran, then that makes you look bad. So that's just part of the podcast world. I took more. I digested Dunleavy and I thought that was more important. It turned out it wasn't. So, fool me once, that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say, Rich?
Well, Percy was saying that based on Kerr and Draymond's podcast, that he was thinking that they were going to make a move on Jordan Poole, or the Warriors were. And I said, well, every podcast, when you talk good about something and you're not that something, it can be perceived as a slight on you because you're not that something. And in this case, it was the veterans and everything. I mean, you could use that formula on Kuminga and Moody,
Right.
mostly Kuminga, and that didn't happen yet. I don't think it will happen. To address another comment in the chat, I think JK is a keeper because of his super duper high ceiling and still young. And just like, 2 years compared to Poole's 4 years. And now that we're talking about Kuminga a little bit, and also that just like Eric G was saying from NBADraft.net, he told us that Kuminga had a really shortened offseason last summer. Remember, he sprained his ankle even before the Congo game, and then we watched those games, those FIBA Africa games. They were like AAU games, didn't really help his development all that much. Then he comes back and, we go right into Japan. Everybody does. And we all know how that played out. So Kuminga didn't have a really full offseason last season. This summer, he will. He's off to a great start. He's working out in New York and Miami with all these great trainers. He's doing pickup against other pros in Miami. So I'll do a video on that later. But Eric thinks that Kuminga's going to have a blast of a third season. And I think so too, now that he knows specifically the mindset of, hey, you better rebound. It's really no different than what Wiggs had to change his mindset towards against the Celtics in the finals. And then he became a huge piece of what we have. And now, he's one of those foundational pieces. So I think keep JK, but even in going back to how I went on this tangent, Steve and Draymond talk about how it's so great to have veterans. And, that also kind of paints Kuminga as not one of those types. But he's still here, and I think we'll keep him. So, yeah, it kind of goes both ways. But yeah, it ended up with, to answer your questions of what was I just talking about, then Dunleavy went on the podium because, Steve and Draymond talked after game 5 or whatever, game 4 maybe, of Miami-Denver. And then so after that, Dunleavy went to the podium, talked about how he wanted to have Poole stay at least 4 more years, ended up trading him. So now, I know not to completely go by Dunleavy, who has, by the way, another little nugget is that I found out there were 40 workouts held by the Warriors. Only 30 of them were made public. I went back and counted them. So, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, is Dunleavy possibly more secretive, which I actually wrote in the on the website. So let's throw that up in the background. And just quickly go to letsgowarriors.com, and it's in one of these. My internet's slower here. I think it's one of these. And then we also said we should trade down to draft Trayce Jackson-Davis. We ended up doing that. Hey.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Did he say guys that were going to regret not taking me or something like that?
Yeah, and Trayce Jackson-Davis himself went, and you can look it up here. What is this Wikipedia I have on here? Well, Trayce Jackson. Oh, that's the Spurs wiki. Anyways, so then he goes on Twitter and Trayce. Right after that, he goes, "Y'all will regret it." 9:14 p.m., which is right after he got drafted. I like his.
And yeah, and obviously, while I'd mentioned PBJ in a couple trades, I really liked him a lot. And his personality too. But Patrick Baldwin Jr. was the I think the 28th pick in the draft, which means he's making a lot more than the second round 57th pick. It was like almost 2.4 million a year, and obviously JD is a little cheaper than that. And he's also much larger. It seems like 6'9", but like 245 or something, I think is what he was listed at. I haven't watched tape on our draft picks yet. Honestly, the only thing that comes to mind when I think about the Warriors is we have to re-sign Draymond Green. So, I'm hoping that happens soon. And I'll definitely look more into these guys. But I do like listening to what people say about them before I watch any of the highlights or whatever that they have, or kind of full game, weaknesses and strengths things. And yeah, he's a 4-year college player. He's 23 or something like that. So we actually got more, probably more basketball experience. Of course, PBJ is already in the league, and JD is a rookie, but trying to call him for Dylan. I really enjoy seeing the way Mike Dunleavy's operating so far. It's I thought these are big swings, but they make a lot of sense to me, and they're not just big names. They're like actual fits. I feel so far. And yes, please splash the like button. We got 92 people watching, 28 likes. Come on, we could do better than that. Chat.
Again.
But
please splash. I can type. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then Brandin Podziemski's dad, with maybe the quote of draft night. If you ask him to jump, he doesn't ask how high. Went to a military school and everything like that. Sounds like what I've heard is mostly great shooter. Not the quickest athlete, but 6'4", 6'5", 200-something pounds, pretty solidly built. Oh, you good, Steph? No worries. Steven, maybe. Steve.
Oh, as far as not the quickest athlete, there are some good attributes. Number one, he was sixth highest vertical leap at 39 inches. Yeah. No, I was talking about lateral quickness rather than jumping ability. Yeah. So he went on the podium and he said, "Yeah, when people say, oh, he's not athletic enough, I have this to say." I love the best part of his, and you can see this on our YouTube channel. So go to youtube.com. Let's go Warriors. Best part of this one in the introduction at Chase Center the other day, 2 days ago, was when Kevin Dana, the Santa Cruz Warriors announcer, was leading the talk, which is interesting. Normally they get fits. I don't know if it was a schedule conflict or whatever, And I know Kevin personally, but it's not something I could really ask him. What's up with Fitz? We'll just have to see. He's probably not going to tell me. Like if there's maybe he's just not available today versus they want to versus whatever they want Dana to do more of these things. Don't know, but he hosted Podziemski the whole night. I called him Podziemski because my whole research was all non-audio based. It was all silent highlights and reading scouting reports. So next year I got to make sure that I actually turn on the sound on some of the scouting reports that I watch. And I don't go through a lot of them because I depend on guys like Eric G at NBA Draft. And so next time I'll be sure to ask him how to pronounce things. And anyways, the best quote from BP, let's just call him BP. He's got a BP chain.
Yeah, a lot of those guys had their initials like a very expensive name tag or something.
Yeah, JK has his own logo. Everybody has their own logo before they signed the shoe deal to get a logo. But anyway, they should. I mean, everybody's a brand the moment they get drafted. But back to the best quote of the night. The best quote of the night, it's in the description, it's in the comments, is when Kevin Dana goes, so go back to last October, Brandon. What would have gone through your mind if you were told that you would become WCC Co-Player of the Year, WCC Breakout Player of the Year, and then get drafted 19th by the Warriors? And you know what B Pods said? He goes, yes. That's it. So that was brilliant.
Yeah, I love that, man. And that was something I was bringing up. Like, say what you want about, fastest, lateral shuffle. This dude's a hyper competitive, hard-working. He doesn't seem moody like in that type of like quiet maturity, maybe. Yeah. But like, I'm gonna do what you asked me to do. Like, I'm bought in on the team, and that's something we were missing, And man, Draymond, CP, Steph, Coach Kerr, those guys get into you a little bit, And Clay will let you know if there's something on the court that he sees, and so you have to have a little bit of thick skin. I'm not saying players on the team last year didn't have thick skin; they had to just to get through the season, but that like totally locked in young maturity with more veteran leadership, which is what I've been asking for a long time, as you guys know. Gen Z answers, huh?
One more thing about Brandin Podziemski. What I'm guessing you didn't listen to the interview yet, but what do you think his comp is? Just sort of not as athletic, but hard-nosed, and it's an older school player. What do you think?
Well, give me the decade.
The decade would be the late 90s, 2000s, and up to mid 2010s.
I don't know, but I think this would be funny to say, so I'm going to say Ron Artest.
Ooh, no, but it's European guy. It's going to be very obvious the moment I say it.
Ginobili?
Exactly. Ginobili is the one that Brandin Podziemski himself said he models his game.
Oh, yeah, he's a lefty too. Yeah.
A lefty too, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Those southpaws, they always pick up little tricks from one another, They can be a little sinister.
All right. So I'm going through. So some topics to talk about at some point. Number one, we've got, what do you think about the big man? Is it going to be Kevin Love? What do you think about Drummond, Saric, Thomas Bryant? Those things. So sorry,
before we get into that real quick, someone mentioned also in the CP3 thing, just real quick, that we gave up a first-round draft pick. That was top 20 protected. So it only goes to the Wizards if it's 21 through 30, which means we're one of the best teams in the league. And then the second-round pick, I don't know. Those are like pennies in a fountain or something. They just get moved all the time. So I wouldn't worry too much about that draft pick.
Percy with the Bobby Sura comp. Let's hope he's better than him. Bobby Sura was pretty darn good, but let's hope BP becomes great, like better than
he looks a little bit like Bob Dylan, young Bob Dylan to me too.
Oh, they've been giving him the Jack Harlow. Is it Jack Harlow? Needs more of a beard, but yeah, Jack Harlow.
Yeah. Well, but he can jump though, right?
Jack Harlow? Just kidding.
Podziemski.
39-inch vert, yeah.
Yeah. So he's white. He can jump. Come on, Jack. Or who's it really? Woody? Yeah. Yeah. That was the original, huh? Woody Harrelson. You know what I'm talking about, Rich?
Sorry, I was answering something in the comments. What were you talking about?
Jack Harlow's in White Man Can't Jump too, or whatever, right?
Oh, by the way, yeah, JVM, my bad. Ginobili is not European technically.
He's not. He's from Argentina, but his last name is Italian.
Eurostep at the time that I said that, so I said European, but you're right.
He's an American, man. Come on, you know.
What was your question? America. Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
Oh yeah, I was just saying. Jack Harlow's in that, right?
Oh wow,
isn't he?
I think so.
I don't even know. Yeah. He's in the not the original one, obviously, but the new one. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to talk about remakes of movies I haven't seen. A little Austin Reeves, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's just the white American comp, and I don't know. Who in the league do I want him to look at? How about this one? I a little bit different body type, but I would love him to watch Desmond Bane. I would love that. I always liked Desmond Bane, and he's been really, really good for the now smart Grizzlies.
Oh, so things we will talk about. We'll talk about some big men that are out there. Although
Tripod.
I haven't done too much. Tripod? What's tripod?
Podziemski.
Oh, but we'll also talk about Draymond. All the rumors surrounding Draymond. One of them got a little ridiculous today, so we'll talk about that. The one with Cameron and Mace. I didn't even know they were doing a podcast.
I don't know who those are.
The old Bad Boy music label, the old Puff Daddy, P. Diddy under his label, Cameron and Mace have a podcast. And Cameron, I don't know how to pronounce it all these years.
Oh, okay.
He said something about what Jordan Poole said to Draymond that caused the punch. I'm sitting there going, how the hell would Cameron know this? And I'm going to reveal to you what I was told. So we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
Absolutely. Yeah, get the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an article on our website for that. But being that not everybody on the website comes to these lives is okay. And we want to make these lives a little bit more special. So I'm more than happy to reveal that to you guys and yet put it behind a firewall on our website for the rest, just like a bonus for you being here with us. But we'll save that for when I catch up in the comments. I'm trying to catch up in the comments, so sorry about that. Mark Skinner, nah. Wiggs is happy being a long-term Warrior, and knows the NBA is a business, and probably told JP that advice, because Wiggins has been through it, and then you eventually find a place where you can settle long-term, as Wiggs found with us, and it's part of life. There's no, you know. First of all, I don't think Wiggs and JP hang out enough to have that super bond where if one of them gets traded, then the other one's like emotionally hurt. So I don't really, they are buddies, but it's not like that. I mean, they both understand the business. So that's answer to R. Skinner. Don't worry, Wiggs will be here. He's signed long term, as you can see on Hoops Hype salary cap table behind us. See right there?
Yeah, Wiggs has one of the best contracts in the league. So
in one of the reasons we're pretty inflexible with the rest of our roster, other than trading out this huge salary for CP3 salary, which is actually bigger than this, $30 million guaranteed. But then we got rid of Patrick Baldwin, got rid of Ryan Rollins, a little bit of chunk change there, $4 million, but that makes up for that. And we really can't do a whole lot down here because of these guys up here. One of them is Wiggins. So the good news is that one of them is Wiggins, and the other good news, one of them is Steph. We got Steph till 2026. That should be celebrated. As
yes.
Dean. I got that from Dean. Really, Dean deserves the credit on that. If you're having a bad day, come to Hoops Hype or any other salary cap table. Look at this and go, we're gonna have Steph for until 2026. So at least until summer of 2026, we should have a very entertaining season, no matter what happens, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Whatever you want to talk about, go ahead, because I'm going to try and catch up in the comments.
Yeah, I was just looking up Chris Paul's Phoenix. Huh? Yeah. 32. Well, maybe we should address the first and foremost, Blasian. I like the tripod nickname, although there may be another meaning to that is out there. But the other thing I want to address is people talking about Draymond's contract.
Okay.
From his rookie year until 2022, not including last year, how much do you guys think Draymond earned total from the Warriors? It was about just under $131 million for his whole career. So, if he wants 3 for $100 or $100 million over 3 years or $120 million over 4 years, honestly, I'm okay with that. I would do that, especially if it's something that Clay might,
what was that again?
What was what? The numbers?
Yeah, the numbers. You'll do that. What was it?
I heard mentioned $100 million for 3 years or 120 for 4 or something like that. I mean, honestly, I'd do 130 for 4 for Draymond. I think he's that important, and we have Steph under contract till 2026, but that's that's important to remember, but it's also 3 seasons. He declined our player option. Right. So $130 million is more than 27 and a half. Over 4 years is 27 and more than 27 and a half. Which obviously could have just signed back onto and done an extension off of that in the season. But he's also never been a free agent before. So, it can be nice to be courted and see what your value is around the league. And no matter what it is, the Warriors should offer whatever is happening because we need Draymond and Steph together. I know we don't like to say need, but we need Draymond. We need Draymond and Steph if we're gonna keep this thing going. If we're gonna try and get to a place where we have a real shot at winning another title. So, I'm happy with that for Draymond. And if Klay takes that, that's less money than 27 and a half and 43 or whatever it was going to be coming up anyway, just by a little bit. But if they're paying both like $33 million a year, that's actually not, as much. That's 66 million versus what, 71. So yeah, let's do. I mean, I have no problem with that. And also, Draymond's talked before on his podcast about wanting to go to 2027. It's not exactly what he said. He said 15 years, but that's 2027. So one more season, after that. Mary's contract up with Steph's. And let's look, guys, I'm trying to tell you how much of a win it would be. I mean, it'll be a win if we can keep Steph a Warrior for life. But if you keep Steph, Klay, and Draymond Warriors for life, that's a win in and of itself. The kind of which it's not counted as a championship or anything like that. But I've gotten to witness it twice on teams that I absolutely love. Once with John Stockton, who played his entire 19-year career as a member of the Utah Jazz, and once with Kobe Bryant. And those are incredible moments that establish your legacy going forward. Like, that's always brought up, And it's pretty rare that it happens, but I mean, we've accomplished so much. The Warriors have accomplished so much together that I just think it was it was so amazing being able to witness those. That I want the Warriors to be able to feel that too. And if it's with all three of those dudes, if our future, is a little rough after they leave, it's worth it. There's going to be some day when we're not able to compete for championships. And I hope I take bigger pain after they retire than losing the core slowly over 3 seasons? I mean, it's 3 seasons, man, So that's what I'm really, really hoping for. D'Lo 2.0 for the CP3 trade. Well, it could be. I will say the D'Lo trade, the Warriors signed and traded Kevin Durant out, which hard capped us. If you are the one signing a player then trading them, you get hard cap. If you're receiving the sign and trade player, I don't think that hard caps you, but that put pressure on the team to rebuild because you lose some of the exceptions and things like that if you get hard capped, even under the old CBA rules. But also, Clay was hurt, and it would have been a little bit different. The Warriors tended not to make in-season trades. It would have been at least somewhat different if Steph hadn't snapped his wrist in half 4 games into the season. So a little bit different circumstance, different position for the team at the moment. I think they would do that only if there's a great offer. I think the D'Lo thing was probably a 50-50 trade or going to the offseason with. This is much higher, the chance that they're going to keep him again, just for the financial flexibility of it. And if Chris Paul's incredible, then you see what happens, even going into the next offseason. But there's one more thing I want to say about CP3. He's not the physical idea of an enforcer that I was thinking of, but that's that enforcer temperament, And the whole Draymond, we don't have a good relationship. Of course they didn't. Those two dudes competing against one another on teams where they're preventing one another from getting the title, but I don't think that'll be a problem at all on the team itself. Same with
completely dispelled. That's been completely dispelled by someone very credible at The Athletic, and his name is Sam Amick, the same guy someone mentioned about how Lillard would love to have dream scenario is Draymond. Of course, we knew that. We talked about.
He's been saying that for years.
Yeah. So don't take that as actual information right here. But inside one of these, I think it's the same article. It might not be because it's whole NBA free agency. Amick does talk about how the whole Draymond CP3 thing from the past it's nothing, He explains it better than I can, but it's just like any other basketball beef. As I said on the last live stream, you go play in a men's league, you kind of get along with everybody, and maybe you have some kind of altercation with somebody at some point. It's inevitable in the game of basketball. But that's the thing is basketball players understand that that's inevitable in the game of basketball. And you don't really take that personally unless it really becomes like an anomaly. Those are so rare, Even I would say like, Dylan Brooks, like if there was a way to bring him on here and he didn't mind having limited minutes and, take Dante's role even behind CP3 and forget a salary for a moment. What if we got him on a vet min? It's like, because that was all talk. That was like, that's what you do as a competitor. It's just what you do. So the antics of CP3, it goes along the same lines. And Draymond going on a couple years ago to a podcast to say that, I needed to be the enforcer against CP3 because Steph's not really that type of personality. Yeah, at the time, it doesn't mean that we can't be teammates when the moment calls for us being teammates and winning a championship together.
Well,
That's
and
overblown all over the place. Fans don't really understand that.
Here's another thing too. CP3 doesn't really get kicked out of games that much, like Draymond does, or go, get a little overly heated, right? It's one of the reasons having Iguodala there was important. It's this guy who, can really, and obviously Bob Myers too, and Steph and Clay and everybody, but they kind of let Draymond do his thing and just roll with it. But CP3 can be there to help rechannel that insane, like, honestly, Draymond's not as emotive or as talkative, but I think that dude's at like a Kevin Garnett level, like crazy competitive, I not think. I know it.
Point. Good point. Yeah.
But CP3 can be that, like, I'm that competitive, but this is totally different. Like, Draymond's Dionysian madness is like CP3 is like, calculating Apollonian type. Like, I don't know if you guys know what those are, but, kind of wild versus, like, in control, right? Running hot versus running cold. Like cold fire, I guess, that CP3 has. Also, CP3's issue is that he can be a little heavy-handed, but Draymond is going to make sure that is balanced in the locker room. I think, that there are two voices and there's two, perspectives and everything, and that, sometimes CP3 wears on other guys because they're not going to yell back at him as much, and Draymond will, and again, there's already this structure around the team where, you can lead where we need you to lead, but you don't have to do everything. And I just think it could be an incredible balance. Also, man, selfishly, I just want to see CP3 and Draymond run pick and roll with one another, because CP3 is a great screener, obviously, and CP3 Draymond pick and roll. I don't know, man. We'll call that the CP23.
I want to make a list of seeing more and more names in the comments of bigs. So we've got Drummond, Saric. Who else? Go ahead and retype it. Brook Lopez? I don't think we can get Brook Lopez. He's not going to be a vet min.
Well, I mean, if he wants to come here, I'd definitely sign him. But
for a vet min?
That's all we can really offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he wants to come here for that, I would love it. But I don't.
Yeah, that's not likely at all.
That's not likely. Yeah. Yeah. So just to let you guys know. Same as with the Naz Reid thing.
You don't go from 13 million, and he's not that old. I can understand
35.
If it's Kevin Love. Yeah. He's 35?
I think so.
Let's see. Damn.
Been in the league since 09. Yeah, it's 35. Just turned 35.
All right. Well, he's not 37. So
yeah. I mean, it's more possible than Zion coming here for the, but
I could be wrong.
The other thing though is I think they might just want him back in Milwaukee, right? I mean, I don't know what the situation is out there.
So all the names that are popping up, just kind of understand, why would I leave? Like Tristan Thompson was brought up in the comments. Why would Tristan leave LA at a vet min to come here for a vet min? His buddy's LeBron. He played well under Darvin Ham. He got a chance to play Game 7, or Game 4 against the Nuggets. My bad. Yeah. I'm getting the elimination games completely confused. But anyways,
it's all good.
Yeah, got a chance to play against the Nuggets. So I guess it's good to mention those names as possibilities, but those are kind of lower ones.
And why you would come as, the Lakers say we're moving on to something else. And
I would like to come up with a real solid possibility as a big man. Like you guys throwing it, like Kevin Love still, to me, there's more reasons for him to come to Golden State than any of the names that you mentioned.
Although he was just on a team that made the finals. Right. Maybe he just really likes Miami.
We're at that point, we're thinking for him, but also, I don't know. Just like I'm just saying that if Kevin Love qualifies as a big man that we should seek, and then you're given all these other names, and they're way down here compared to the reasons Kevin Love would come here, because we've got Clay as a recruiter. He's been Clay since he played Little League Baseball. So there seems to be a connection there. There seems to be reasons for that. But I mean, at the same time, I guess maybe if you're going to name a name, kind of go, this is probably not going to happen, but whatever. Or you can say, I really do think this name that I'm going to tell you is a possibility right behind Kevin Love, because think it through. Don't just throw out names. It's kind of annoying when people just throw out all these names with no context. Myles Turner.
Well,
What? I look at the salary from Myles Turner and it doesn't fit this salary cap table. So what would you do? Try to give us your
I guess
line of thinking.
you'd
Or
have to make a trade or something like that.
if you are just throwing out names, just say it. I'm just throwing out a name here, but Myles Turner. I'm just throwing out a name here, but Saric. Help us
Marcus
out here.
Chris.
We're actually trying to turn this into actual information. We're not here to just go, oh, Andre Drummond, let's check out his, remember when he did this, and if he went, what would he do? Like
Drummond, he's probably definitely available on a better minimum, I would think, and he's a solid rebounder. Seems like he's fairly popular in the locker rooms that he's been to. Doesn't really fit the Warriors system, but hey, maybe sometimes you just need a huge dude who can grab boards. Okay, cool. That's fine. Giannis on the vet min, I don't think that's going to happen. So, and I like what you said. Like, if you are throwing names out there to have fun,
I'll be right back. I got to use a resting break.
I'm coming right.
Keep going on the big man names.
Yeah. If you're just having fun and liking to speculate, I definitely understand that. Boss man, he's a hard-boiled detective. He always wants info, evidence, sources. I'm a little more lax with that stuff, but I always try and justify, or not justify maybe, but just try and argue against myself in terms of why would that player do it, or why would that team say yes? What would be the main concern? Yeah, exactly. Treating it like 2K, and it's not like that, I mean, we were just talking about how much, Jokic. We'll trade a second-round pick for him. That's where he was drafted. So, I guess maybe we can throw in, TJD for Jokic. Why not, man? Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say? Throw in TJD for what?
For Jokic, he's the second-round pick. So second-round pick. We'll trade for him, right? It was just DJ was making a joke here about let's get Jokic. That's a big man. Yeah, I think he'd be pretty good, on this team for sure.
Who else? Dwight.
Might be coming off the bench behind Looney though. Who knows?
Who else was mentioned?
Kruger.
Halo, of course.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I know, Amy. I know. Yes. Thank you, Amy. Kruger, since you mentioned him, also said that Bob Myers was forced out. If you read between the lines, I haven't heard that from anywhere else, and I'm not sure I really believe it.
No.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what he said. I'm telling you what he said.
What? Who said?
Kruger, Larry Kruger.
Oh my God.
He said Bob Myers was obviously,
Kruger is employed by what?
I have no idea.
A radio station.
I hear him on a different podcast.
A radio station. Therefore, if he
does have a radio voice,
station, I have
what I was hearing today. Whoa.
I have all the respect.
I'm sure he's a good guy, man.
Exactly. And I have all the respect for guys that are employed by radio stations. You've done a great job of getting your mass comm major, your diploma. Then you get hired by a radio station. That's real.
It must be a dream come true, man.
That's awesome. But
I just don't know if I think that's correct information.
Fans have to remember that radio stations have a way. Their goal is to get you outraged, to call in, to click, and they go out of their way.
He didn't say this on a radio station, as far as I know, though. I mean, he might have.
He's a radio station guy doing a podcast,
right.
i.e., that's radio station type content, and they're trained to. I just saw a thing where there's like you can go sign up for a course on how to get a career path similar to Stephen A. Smith. So they teach you how to be controversial. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is just, you have to understand that that's entertainment. And today I was a little bit perturbed by. I'm a little bit perturbed, but then again, I'm like, well, that's what they're doing. That's what they do. So right now, you're getting a lot of yellow journalism going on, a lot of stoke the fire. Would you trade JK? Would you trade Wiggins? They even went there. Local radio station is doing that. You go look at their Twitters. Go
Was
look
it
at their
for
tweets.
something specific, or they're just like,
No, they just
get
want to
him off
drum
the
up
team?
viewership. But I
Yeah.
get it. You know, we don't have to do that here on this YouTube channel. And you'll find tons and tons of YouTube channels where I've got like a foreign YouTube channel. Every now and then I get the title of their video, their latest video, and it's a straight lie. They'll just lie. They'll just say Stephen A says trade Draymond or something like that. And I'm like, nah, he didn't. And then I realized that that's just a guy on YouTube, probably some kid somewhere out there in the world that's just trying to draw clicks. And you just really have to be, you know, I'm gonna do more on our community page coming up because YouTube Stories is going away, and I tried to do more YouTube Stories, kind of like my replacement for Instagram. But now that they're doing away with that, because I think YouTube is thinking, oh well, YouTube Shorts is doing well, so why do we need stories? That's a repeat. But the problem with YouTube Shorts is if I want to spread out information about the Warriors, a lot of the things that we get on Twitter or whatever are like copyrighted things that are just 15 seconds long or whatever. So I can't really put that as a YouTube short on our channel. So I don't know what
just
I'm
mix
doing.
the two together, honestly.
But you can't do videos on the community page. So on the community page, what I'll do is just every bit of information that comes out about the Warriors, I'll just put on the community page. It'll be our replacement for Twitter. So for people who can't get on our live streams like you guys, but when you can't make it and you want to stay informed and you want to know if this is actually BS or that, you know, you want to know what's the right information, we'll have it on our community page. That will literally start tomorrow because I found out that YouTube Stories is going away.
Huh.
All right.
Wow.
So that's, I went on a diatribe on that again, but let me go back to the comments. We should try and figure out any other big men. Go ahead and comment the big man that you might want, and we'll try and get to it, cover everything. How about, did you talk about Saric? Can we even afford him?
I don't even know anything about Darius Saric's situation.
Oh, okay. Well, let's look at his salary cap table. Phoenix, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, and then, you know, every live stream when we talk about big men, Naz Reid. Guess who signed Naz Reid for exactly what we were talking about? He's going to get paid by the Wolves. He got paid by the Wolves. $14 million a year for the next 3 years. And that's the thing. I keep going back to this. Saric. Where's Saric?
I think he's on the Thunder, maybe.
Okay.
He got moved in the trade, I think.
If we don't know where a guy is, check the Thunder. But anyways, $9 million.
Yeah, really?
How are we going to get Saric? The person who put Saric in the comments. How do you do this? How do you get a $9 million type guy? Is he a vet min? Say it.
He's 29 years old, 7 years of experience. I mean, there's a possibility that guys, do the Donte DiVincenzo type thing.
We're guessing what the commenter was thinking. Like, tell us what you're thinking. But anyway,
yeah.
What was the other ridiculous thing? Oh, right. So let's go look at Naz Reid. So
whoa.
Second rounder before.
Wait a minute.
What?
Daniel's saying that Dwight Howard is the Asian League GOAT. Really?
Yeah, but that's the Asian League, and I'm Asian, so I can say this is totally different level, man. Like you
everywhere outside the NBA and G League is and EuroLeague, I guess, is pretty high.
EuroLeague, right? I mean, but even the Australian League is better.
Yeah, they're nowhere near.
You know,
in terms of
And don't say Boogie Cousins is killing it in Puerto Rico, because everybody's killing it in Puerto Rico. It's a great place to play.
Boogie Cousins is killing it on the beaches of Puerto Rico, man. He must be having a good time.
The league only lasts through July, so a lot of NBA guys are in Puerto Rico, but doesn't necessarily mean – that's strange that nobody mentioned Boogie. It's like the flavor of the month. What's the flavor of the month? Drummond, Brook Lopez, Myles Turner. Myles Turner is always the flavor of the month. So at least now we can.
John Collins finally got traded, by the way.
Yeah.
He's been on the trade block for years, man.
Yeah.
Years.
Yep. And that was for the CBA as well.
Oh, was it?
Salary up to Utah.
Yeah. Yeah. Utah might have. Obviously, I'm a little partial, but Utah might have a interesting team.
Well, it was enabled by a salary dump. I mean, but
I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't.
Isn't just going to go get anybody as a salary dump if you can get something of value from a salary dump, which they have plenty of cap space. Utah does.
I would be
do that, and so he'll get John Collins on pennies for the dollar.
I would be okay trying to make a win-win trade with a Danny Ainge-led team, but that is one of the last guys in the NBA I'd want to owe a favor to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know.
People
keep trading with him, and it looks good for a year, and then the next year it's a little, So. Right. Twitch comments getting no love, Bruce. Oh, but you're a legend here, man. You went to Twitch, and we still everybody.
Oh, right. I can't see the.
They can't see the Twitch comments.
I can reply to the YouTube ones, but I'm not on Twitch right now, and it would really hamper my laptop speed.
Yeah.
Here.
Old machine.
We need more Twitch people.
Yeah. Oh, so that's perfect for Bruce. You can go out and recruit a whole army of real Warriors fans at Twitch, man. So we'll shout you out, and we can put here. We can still put up his comments.
Why don't you keep an eye on Bruce's one, because I'm in YouTube right now trying to catch up on all of them, reply to people and stuff.
He's killing 2K. You get a shot. Yeah, hey man, you can always join the 2K league, man. I'm not very good at that game, but I enjoy it.
I'm catching up to a comment by Nails Connolly about CP3 gets. So we're segueing away from big men. So if you want to talk more big men, throw it in the comments. We'll get back to it. But CP3 gets a lot of assists on 3-pointers.
Yes.
Shane Young, of all people, Shane Young. I don't really read him all that much, but I happen to follow him because he had a credential to the finals. Crap. Is it just Shane Young? He writes for Forbes. He's the lead NBA writer, young NBA. But he has this article that's pretty good, actually. All the angles of the Warriors getting CP3. So back to CP3 real quick. There are a couple things in here that he mentioned. So I highlighted them in a Discord post to myself. So let me pull that up. So in this write-up, there's some cool stuff. One of which is we haven't even got to Draymond in full. We'll talk about that. Let's see. And then there's another Chris Paul in his exit interview, which he covered. Pretty good article here. If you're pro CP3, go to this article.
Hey, Rich, the screen's not up here if you wanted to show.
Oops. Yeah, I didn't want to show it. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Here you go. So Shane Young, right here. Young NBA is his Twitter handle. And he talks about things like the exit interview from Chris Paul. I'm going to tell you, you don't play 18 years in this league at a high level and not understand how to adjust and adapt with the game. Exactly. I've been in this NBA a lot longer than some of the people I've been covering it. I remember when the games ended in 80 to 85 scores.
Yeah.
So that's Chris Paul on the podium the day after Phoenix got eliminated, probably getting a little bit grilled by the media saying, can you guys fix this? Can you guys fix this next year? Right. Little did we know he would get waived. They probably knew. Phoenix probably knew.
Yeah. Traded.
But because of the salary situation. But here's the other thing Chris Paul said. I don't talk about it too much, but I know this game just about better than anybody. So I think he's getting grilled and he's a little bit perturbed by some of the questions.
Yeah, he's a little miffed.
I put that up to everybody. That's not what's going to change is my knowledge of the game. And I'm going to keep putting in the work. So if you're mad at it or you hate it, that's on you. So I love that he's still got that dog in him. Media.
Yeah, he's gonna have a dog in him in the nursing home, man. You know.
And then the rest of this, I want to somewhere. If you scroll down, let me put the article in the comments in the description. So go to the description if you want to see this. Whoa! Why doesn't Safari? You can't hit escape and get the URL back. Strange. Safari's always weird. But we are at the 120 mark. Shane Young, good Forbes article on CP3 quotes and analytics. And here, somewhere down here, he writes, Chris Paul appeared in 82.2% of 236 possible regular season games. 82% sounds pretty good to me. He should find himself wide open more times than not due to Steph and Clay possibly being on the court at the same time. Chris Paul shot 88 catch-and-shoot threes in 59 games last season. He drilled 52.3% of those opportunities. So that's the thing that gets Shane Young, basically an NBA/Clippers writer, excited about CP3 coming to the Warriors. All right. Dean, why don't you catch up on any comments, recent comments? I'm stuck in the middle pack of the comments.
Okay.
So you go ahead and answer anything that might be going on there. But thank you, Nails Connolly, for bringing up some CP3 stuff. CD Hollis is saying CP3 will be good up until the playoffs. Then he will be a spectator. We'll see.
But he's always had to play heavy minutes and start and be the main, point guard on the team. He won't have to do that here. I mean,
right.
Not saying we don't want him playing most of the games that that are around, but like 20 minutes rather than 35. That's a huge amount of difference, really. It's a lot more possibility for health, really, I think. So, yeah. I'm sure Dunleavy does have a plan here, Richard.
Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Man.
Veteranship. I like the word, yeah. Thank you, DeJuan.
Oh, so.
Oh, JP was more of a scorer. Absolutely.
Dude has hate. So we got to watch him in the comments. We don't have hate on here, man.
He's just never been on the channel before. It's all good.
Yeah, he was on last time.
Was he? Oh.
Timed him out.
Mm. All right.
You got a lot of hate, man, and I don't think it's the Warriors. I think there's something else going on in your life. Hope you can figure it out. Meanwhile,
go watch some Jayski interviews. Podziemski. I'm going to call him Jayski, I think. I like it. So,
Podziemski. All right. So I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Let's see.
Right. But that's only for one season, Z. Or Zed.
What was the question?
Poole's about to be a franchise player. We let him go. Got a whole lot older. E40 isn't pleased. If you got a direct line to E40, bring him on the live, please, because I would.
I mean, that's the thing with every decision with the Warriors. It always goes back to
E40.
like the global picture of everything. I mean, are you actually happy when you watch the Warriors? Like, I mean, this is supposed to be you're supposed to be grateful to have this opportunity to have a team like this led by a GOAT in Steph Curry. And we put that back up here.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you just want to complain every day. It's just like that's not what we do here. We're the opposite of that.
You guys
here to remind ourselves why we love this team rather than what other people are doing out there on social media.
Look, the Nuggets have been in the league since 77, I think. 76, 77 in the NBA, that is. And they made their first finals this year and won a title. But think how long it's been. That's longer than it took from 1975 to 2015. That's for sure. You know, the Heat have made 7 finals. They only have 3 championships, and we have Steph. Just like, please try and get what I'm saying with that. Like, we have Steph Curry. It's not anywhere near like. Even look at the Celtics, you know, Tatum and Brown. I mean, that team's in the conference finals every year. The Warriors made 5 in a row, you know, finals, and damn near won all 5 of them. They really did. It was really close. We were really close to 5-peating, maybe going 6-0. I mean, you never know what happens, but the Warriors were real close to that. Game 7, 4-point loss, and probably should have won that series before Game 7 anyway, but we didn't. But it was close. Had the lead with like a minute to go in 2016, obviously. And then the injuries in 2019, you know. Yeah. So, oh, yeah, I'll don't worry, Nails. Oh, Cholo already got it. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Urbanez.
I'm
again,
done.
we
Oops, did the wrong thing.
We
Looking them from the channel. Ban user, bye-bye. You're gone. It's too much to deal with your negativity. It's too much. Go ahead, Dean. Sorry.
Oh no, I get it. But you know, as I've said, the Sixers' entire career with Joel Embiid's they've gotten to Game 7, I think, in the second round, but they've never gotten past that. The whole Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert Jazz, who were really pretty good, they're averaging like 55 wins a year. They never got out of the second round. The Clippers, it took them 50 years to get out of the second round. Once. If that's a bad season, that's because we have one of the greatest players of all time on one of the only 8 dynasties ever in the league. Dynasty being a team with at least one player who won 3 or more championships. There's 8, you know? There's 8 of those organizations, and the Warriors are one of them, and they're one of the best of those. So, you know, let's not forget like where we're at, and also, you know, if we won half of our games on the road, we would have been tied with the Nuggets for the number 1 seed. That's how many home games we won. It means the team's obviously a lot better than the way we perform. You know, I mean, if Steph hadn't been forced to give that speech going into Game 7 after what I wasn't able to watch. I was at work for Game 6, but it just looked like a really horrible showing, you know. If the whole season had been like that, you know, and if he hadn't been forced to do that, if the team had its normal chemistry, maybe you get a little bit more rest against Sacramento. Maybe Steph has a little bit better, flow around him with the rest of the team against the Lakers. Maybe you adjust a little bit more quickly. We were still close to winning that series too, man. We really were. Game 1 and 4, those are winnable. We won those. That series is over in 6 for the Lakers. And then, the Nuggets played a very similar style to us. I'm so impressed by what the Nuggets did. They deserve to be the champions. We've had some awesome champions in the 20s, the Lakers and the Bucks and the Warriors and the Nuggets. But if we have better chemistry, honestly, we might be eliminated by a great team. But I'm not going in being concerned about any team so far, even with all the moves and everything. Whoever you want to say, Nuggets, Suns, Lakers, Grizzlies, Trailblazers, Bucks, Celtics, Heat. That's how talented, smart, tough, just all around competent, I guess. I think this organization and this team, is. And hey, what happens when Steph has a bad shooting night? I want to know what happens. He always comes back the next night, really, really, trying to prove a point. This team has always bounced back well from losing seasons. So, except in 2013 when they lost in the first round after having lost in the second round. Since then, it's been the Warriors proving everyone wrong, man. And I think CP3 helps a lot with that. I really do. I'm glad the Warriors care about profit. I hope they win a few more trophies and grow the value of their franchise exponentially. Well, every team cares about short-term profit. I think that's interesting that the Warriors are looking at long-term, because you'll never have Steph Curry again. You never have it doesn't matter how good the next star of the Warriors is. They won't establish you'd say Wilt and Rick Barry, but it feels like after this run, the Warriors are established. Like the Heat got established. Like the Celtics and Lakers have long been established. Like the Bulls probably should have been if they had more, I don't know, foresight maybe. I don't like. Look, man. Hey, we talk a lot about negativity and positivity as like it's the right thing to do. There's also a pragmatic reason to do that. You never know who's listening and watching. You should always be able to speak your mind, but just trash talking people, that's causing friction for really no benefit to you. So, I don't think the Reinsdorfs have been very good owners, but I also hope Chicago makes it, whoever the owner is, so we don't have to deal with that, though. We have incredible ownership with the Warriors. We have an incredible coach. There have to be some teams looking at the Warriors losing Bob Myers, and then Mike Dunleavy comes in, a player, son of a coach, been around the game his entire life, pulls these type of moves. They go, man, the Warriors went from Bob Myers to Mike Dunleavy? Like, wait a minute. come on, man. You know. Oh, but hey, good organizations know how to deal with the pressure of being good. They know how to deal with it correctly. Um, uh, Ryan Store. You had to wait. What? You had to Google what name? What evidence? Oh, Z Paulson. 78 years old, man. Nice. Keep going. Do you think we overpaid for CP3? No, I don't think so. Because again, I don't think Jordan Poole was happy, man. I don't
Can't
think you
overpay for a transaction like that.
Well,
It's a free agent.
I
That's
think
not
he's
the right
talking.
wording.
I think. I mean, I got what
You mean Jordan Poole was too much for him? But how else would you do the deal? Like package GP2 and Moody?
I think he's just talking about the pick.
But about the pick. What pick?
We included a top 20 protected 2030 pick, I think, in the trade.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the part of the transactional part where Washington goes, well, you want CP3 and, we're getting interest from the Lakers and the Clippers, you got to throw us a bone, and we're kind of, Dunleavy wanted to make that deal so badly that threw it in there. I mean, it's not crippling. It's not a crippling move. I wouldn't worry about it. We're getting into the thing where people complain about Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome. I mean, these ancillary things, they're just ancillary things. It's whatever. Like the 15th and 14th guys of the team, the ancillary parts of a deal isn't going to really affect the actual deal. So stay focused on the big pieces, the big chess pieces that we're moving around. And a lot of it to me is like, again, I was happy with running it back. I thought that Jordan Poole will get better. And let's just run it. I was happy with that. But I'm also happy with this new thing that we're going to do because it's exciting to kind of see how this will work out. And honestly, I envision CP3 in the playoffs, and I kind of go, I might feel more confident about not turning the ball over at that point in time, which me as a former coach, I really stress on. So, just kind of it's kind of exciting to have this. So now, that day's passed, and granted, July 6th is the official trade date because this has to be after a certain date due to the CBA again. But, I'm tired of dwelling on the past, and it's done. And, but that's why we're having this live stream is kind of move on with that. But yeah, I'm eager to move on and just, life goes on. The timeline goes on with or without you. So I now in our Discord, there were people like, oh, I don't like this deal at all. And so I started posting for those guys specifically. Here are some positive reasons. For example, right here, this Shane Young article. Here are some positive reasons you can look at. It goes back to balancing positivity in life with negativity again. And of course, you can focus on the fact that he's only 6'1". He's shorter than Poole, and this, that, and the other thing. And we gave up a draft pick, and you could be negative about that all day. But here are the reasonings, and this was actually the day of when I haven't even processed it much. So I didn't even know. I was still in shock that there was actually a blockbuster deal that we were involved in. So then I listed out on Discord for those guys. Just say, hey, look, here are the reasons I found out there on the internet that I'm getting from quality journalists out there that are, pretty objective overall. And just digest some of these positive things. Because, yeah, you criticize it left and right. So
Yeah. I still think the Warriors know what they're doing, and like we addressed a lot of the issues we've been talking about all season, including defense. Let's just see what happens. If it doesn't work, well, I already told you it'll clear up cap space for the team to be able to sign somebody anyway. So,
yeah, and that's the thing is it just comes down to ultimately is your owner willing to do what it takes to win? Because he's sure as heck going to try. Or you can go back to the Cohan era when the ownership was just didn't know how to win, and also by not knowing how to win, wasn't willing to spend in the right places. So then they'd spend on things that didn't matter. Derek Fisher at point guard, give him tons of money, then handcuff you in other ways, and even then, kind of struck gold with the We Believe team. Almost had Kevin Garnett, as the story goes, via Chris Mullin as GM. So even with an incompetent owner, we almost lucked out, but for the most part, it was dreary. But now we got an owner that really, really cares and all of that. So then it just comes back to like certain fundamentals of the team where I just think a lot of this is, that's why the channel's called Let's Go Warriors, right? Let's go. It's a positive statement. And it just comes down to what mood you're in right now. Are you in the mood to complain about something, whether it's this, that, or the other thing? Or are you in the mood to be excited about stuff? And we're here to reinforce all the logical reasons that will form the foundation for you to think positive thoughts. Because I want people to go out there and think positive thoughts. To get through life, you have to think positive thoughts. You have to break through. And
also, you can't complain about the situation and then once the situation tries to be addressed, say you wanted the status quo back.
So you're seeing flip-flopping.
Either accept the flaws of what you have with the status quo, or if there's something that addresses it, at least give it time to see what happens first. Just give it a little time. Be cool, breathe.
Breathe,
If you have a critique of the trade, fine, that's cool. But if it's an emotional thing, look, I am, as you know, a huge Kobe fan. I live in Long Beach, California. I was also am a huge Warriors fan, as you know. But I was really rooting for those Warriors against the Cavaliers, and LeBron James moved to LA. Okay, so the whole rivals coming to town, like, I get that. But if he helps your team win, fans root for winning, and that's just it. So I don't want to. I honestly don't want to hear that. Well, what about all the history? Like, get out of here. Who cares? If he helps Steph and Clay and Draymond win, if he helps bring Draymond back, what does it matter? It doesn't. That's what I think. So, thank you, Daniel. That's really nice.
What did he say? Oh, cool. Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's a screenshot one. I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if Mike Dunleavy Jr. in the comments can get one up here.
I am so far behind in the comments. It's ridiculous, but at least I'm trying. Usually we're just steamrolled. I think I'm like more than halfway.
Yeah.
How's everything going on in SoCal over there?
It's pretty cool. I know I'm going to sound crazy for saying this, but I don't Summer's probably my least favorite time down here, just because on the coast, especially the south facing coast of Long Beach, it does get a little humid for my taste. I like the drier heat better, but I can't complain. It's like 70 something, and sun shining, but a couple clouds, and there's a little cool breeze at night. Little mist here and there. It's nice. It's cool. Yeah, exactly. And some more jobs. But maybe it's just a better fit and happier. Look, if Jordan Poole was really happy on the team, personally, just reading the tea leaves of what happened. Trying to be an amateur weatherman, I guess, is a better way to describe it. But and had the chemistry been great, and we've seen, like, you look at 2022, Jordan Poole was like locking arms with Clay and doing like dance moves out there, right? Like twisting in circle, and he was just having a lot more fun. And Draymond messed it up by punching him, and Jordan then was not entirely able to rekindle that closeness with the whole team, I think, which is understandable. There are a couple videos of him, going to the end of the bench or not listening to Draymond. Steph comes over and like, hey, like, we gotta get together. He just wasn't happy. He wasn't happy, and we got a guy who addressed our needs, who's going to create a wide open cap space for us. We got off the Poole contract. We probably have the easy way to get under the second apron. So it's a good idea. It's sound. It's sound logic behind why they did it. Oh, also, Ryan Rollins was included in that trade. Patrick Baldwin Jr. was not. He was sent to the Wizards, right, as well?
Yes.
But he was sent there for TJD, Trayce Jackson-Davis. So it was not part of.
Yeah, it wasn't. But then
it might have been part of the trade officially, but it was kind of Baldwin for TJD more, BBJ for TJD. So.
Well, to be specific on the wording, it wasn't officially part of the CP3 trade because that's
it wasn't
later.
Okay. I didn't know.
But as Tim Kawakami said, it is part of the deal. I mean, it's just in the back room, they're sitting there, but we're doing this. That's part of it, but we will report it as not part of it. This will be on draft day. This will be on July 6th, but it's still part of the ecosystem of the Wizards and Warriors doing business together. So you don't get one without the other. It's all together, but transactionally it's separate.
Hey, man, JP's going to have PBJ right next to him in the nation's capital.
That's not too bad. I'm sure Mike Dunleavy, when he called Jordan Poole, kind of gave him a soft landing and said, I know this, off the cuff is going to sound bad, but you're going to still have PBJ with you, Ryan Rollins as well. Yeah. All the whole, the bottom line of these deals that we're doing with the Wizards, you'll get a chance to make all-star team now. You get a chance to score 30 points a game. And that's, again, goes right back to what positive and negative things can you take from life, and just my whole philosophy of just look at the silver linings. You're going to get presented with events that happen to you in your life all the time. And it's really up to you and your brain. If your brain is always used to thinking negatively, like everything you see on Twitter, oh, now I'm in a negative mode, something happens to you, you can label it as positive or negative. Oh, I got
and honestly, honestly,
There's some
you know,
positives.
it's maybe even simpler than that, because there are times when, you know, things happen in the world that you don't like, and you have to be critical of it, or you have to stand against it, or whatever. Those can be kind of negative, I guess, maybe. But don't ever approach anything with hate. It never works. It never works. Hate is never a better option than calm, at least, if not love, you know? It never is. And hate never is more effective. It just ever, you know? So if you start feeling hate, just like, hey man, you know, that's where you can make some mistakes. Trust me. I know Rich likes to call me the dean of positivity, but I'm not saying like I've ever had like real like hate, like, you know, the hate
I mean,
that's
it's
out there in
hard.
the world.
It's
But
hard.
you know, you get that level of like irrational anger and stuff. But if you can try and control that, you know, and not let it lead your emotions, I mean, it's like a bit in a horse's mouth, right? If you let it starts controlling you. It takes the reins instead of you. So that's I don't know. That's what my advice would be. Just like whatever you feel, try and keep a little, you know, 10,000 foot, relaxed, calm. Uh, just take it easy, you know. And just try and analyze something, you know, rather than getting too caught up in the feelings of it, you know.
What else is going on in the comments? Let's try
Uh,
to keep that.
I think I'm going to take a break real quick, if that's all right with you, Rich.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it is. No worries. Thank you. Appreciate you for being on here and carrying some of the load, quite honestly, lately. I want to go through some stuff that I've noticed happening. And sorry, we haven't gotten to the Draymond insider type stuff. Don't think Travis is going to be on here, unfortunately. Nope. Excuse me. Poole is about to be a franchise. Oh, yeah, I'm getting to that comment late. We talked about it. Yeah, so I think some of you are feeling the same way in terms of like the CP3 trade is growing on me. And, you know, what am I going to do anyways? Like, just complain about it, even if I really, really wanted Poole, really loved him, he's my favorite player. You know, got to move on. This is the Warriors. He's not a Warrior anymore. We're going to stop covering Jordan Poole pretty soon. Like maybe one more video to encapsulate the fact that he went to London. Jordan Poole went to London and he got Virgin Atlantic to pay for it, which is good for you, man. I wish I could do that. So I'm rooting for Jordan Poole as a Wizard, and maybe one last compilation video on the channel of his summer trip to London, which was sponsored by Virgin Atlantic. Well, at least the flight, you would think he got sponsored. He put an ad on there. Mike Dunleavy doesn't like Draymond. Okay. Good Lord, man. Isn't that an old... Couldn't you have come up with that 2 years ago when he started podcasting? 2 years later, now that Draymond has won a championship, went on his podcast after Game 6 in Boston and has shown all of these great podcasts of late all season long, even though we got bounced by the Lakers in the semifinals. You want to trade him? Okay. Oh, God. It's just like guys like you are so tired. It's just so tired. Go back to Twitter. What you doing on here? Yeah, we see, this channel is about being on Twitter, seeing some outrageous stuff, me being able to figure out which is rumor and which is truth, and me coming back here to tell you guys which is truth. But when you come onto this chat and you say some of the same things on Twitter, like all of us are just tired of it. Like, why would we want a guy impersonating somebody else? We already get that on Twitter. And you're on here and you're saying all these like, oh, we should get rid of Draymond because he's a podcast. Like, dude, we saw that 10 million times over the last year on this Bluebird app. We don't need that anymore. Like, you are not entertaining on here. You're not. Let Draymond walk? Where is he walk from his luxury apartment to Chase Center? Walk from parking his Mercedes, what is it, G9 or something like that? His Mercedes G to the practice facility? Let him walk from, oh gosh. I mean, you want to be entertaining with your lame comments in the live chat, then I'm going to come right back with entertainment. So let Draymond walk. Yeah, from the Chase parking garage to the facility. That's what we're doing with Draymond walking. Walk. Okay. So we got 2 Twitter people in our live chat right now. Oh, now I finally found the smoking gun. Z Paulson went after one of our guys. So bye-bye, Z Paulson. You are banned. Tired of you. Look at all that negativity, man. Z Paulson, not a happy life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to judge your life and everything. But if you want to spread your negativity all over onto the happy people here, then you pay for it. Oh my gosh. Why can't you be like Dwight Shorts? Dwight Shorts comes on here and says something non-offensive. What about Dwight Howard and DeMarcus Cousins, which we mentioned already? But that's, that's not bringing your bad day onto here. Oh, man, it's so tiring. All right, what's next? Not a good fit. Z Paulson's a better fit for Twitter. Go back to Twitter. We don't do that here. We don't have time for this. Process. Daniel Ricciardo. Good middle name there, buddy. Ricardo. Talking about the process. Man, I can't even, I'm scrolling up. I'm trying to highlight you. Oh, we already did. Thanks. And then I'm trying to highlight the other one, but I can't find it. Can't find the one that says process is what builds a dynasty. I think it's further down here. Oh, well. Thank you, Ricardo. What else? Oh, by the way, Dwight Shorts, we have a lot of stuff in the description of this video. Timestamps, which won't work until we're done with the live, though. So, unfortunately, take a while. Let's see. I was at the owners do this for profit. Yes, they do. That's why Joe Lacob went through the trouble to build Chase Center so that it could be profitable on its own which would then subsidize a lot of the costs needed to make a winning team, a championship team. And don't forget that part. It's kind of our golden goose, laying all the golden eggs, is a Chase Center. They booked like, what was it, $1 billion, $3 billion, $2 billion? Before the first concert was ever done, they already booked, not that they got paid already, but they already booked to what, 1 billion? We'll say 1 billion since that's the smaller number. That's still an extraordinary number. $1 billion in revenue was booked before they even had a first concert. All right. Let's see. Care about profit. Okay. I think I caught up to that. All right. So we're scrolling down. And do you think we overpaid for CP3? No. It's CP3 for Jordan Poole with a couple other ancillary things. So, no. You want to bring added experience, less turnovers, and more toughness to the playoffs, which we kind of needed. That's the price you got to pay. It ain't cheap. You always got to go for it, whatever you do. Most times, if you can get a deal, get a deal. I thought Brad Stevens got a good deal, but you got to really work hard for those. Getting Kristaps Porzingis, you got to find Washington, and then you got to move on that. You got to be willing to show that you're ready to move. And that's for anything, whether you buying a car off of Craigslist, you're interested in it and you like it, you got to move. You got to make moves. Go and do it. Go all in. That's the best types of purchases out there.
Yeah. Well, Carlton, we've addressed this before.
No. Carlton Hanks, oh gosh.
Yeah. It's not it's not differing opinions. There have been plenty of people who come on here and first, sometimes those differing opinions are them attacking us, saying we're idiots, you guys don't know what you're talking about, things like that, which is, like we get plenty of that ourselves. Secondly, it's not
I banned them.
It's well, just to
just tired of it.
Yeah, but just to explain, it's not differing opinions. It's just a level of respectfulness. Okay.
I hope it goes away. So when I talk about what I heard from Draymond's camp, he won't be here to learn that special news that you guys are going to get.
Yeah. But it's not a cult. This is our philosophy. That's it. If you don't like it, then don't think that way. It's okay. It's okay. But we're not a cult. We're not. Come on, man. Like,
but he's the type
all the regulars on here. They know.
He's the type of person where if you that type of person, you want to call us names. I mean, that's what you do. So go ahead, call us whatever you want. But we're over here and we're just going to worry about ourselves. We're our own little family. So yeah. I don't really care.
Yeah. And we've got things wrong, man. We've got things wrong, but we also apply that to ourselves. We're pretty strict about trying to, practice what we're preaching here, for sure. So I don't know. Being called a cult is something I don't like. We're not like that. We're not
I'm
like
not
that.
in a total 100% Zen mode right now.
We're not in a
Myself.
total 100% Warriors do everything perfectly either. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Why
And
would
that's
why would anyone act like that?
well, if
That
I
means you
was
don't care about the team.
97, 98, 99%, I probably wouldn't be banning anybody today. But I do have that 1, 2, 3% dog in me, a la right here, these guys, 1, 2, 3% dog in them.
Yeah.
Chris Paul maybe more than Steph, but Steph's style is through joy, weaponized joy.
Yeah.
But you know,
Look,
I'm
it sucks
sorry.
banning people. No one likes salting the snail. Hey, Gail, right?
Exactly.
But sometimes, you know, I don't know. Sometimes we have to approach things with the way we see the world, and there is another philosophy out there, which is be critical of everything and throw all that criticism against the wall and see what sticks. And I understand why people do it. That's not the way I like to do it. It's not the way Rich likes to do it. And we're just a little different in that way. And the Warriors have proven themselves to some extent to know what they're doing, too. Right? A little bit. Oh, yeah. We've had many disagreements. Yes. Me and Rich have had plenty of disagreements. But there's a respect level there where it's not an attack between.
Let's talk about, let's rehash the latest disagreement that I started with, and then I ended up saying, that wasn't that bad of a trade idea. You might as well, let's just rehash that for those of you that weren't here for that, because I thought it was cool.
Bad myself.
In the middle of it, I was like, what are you thinking? But, so you want to talk about it?
Oh, it was just the idea of,
yeah.
Now this was before the Porzingis trade too, so that can be a totally different situation at this point. But I was thinking, I think Jaylen Brown would be incredible on the Warriors. I think a little change of scenery for him, matching Kuminga and Wiggins salaries for what he's going to make this upcoming season. Adding a piece who's a really, really solid wing defender. Was honestly, as I think most Warriors fans thought, was their most, if not the most important, and the most dangerous player in the finals against us. New scenery, and for the Celtics, adding 2 really solid wings who are after next season are going to be a lot cheaper than the money Jaylen Brown's owed. Young guy, 26, is about to make a lot of money. Unlike Tatum. And Rich said, well, first you're giving up 2 wings for 1 for a guy who's going to make a huge amount of money. And I got that critique or that those thoughts on the trade. And Rich thought it through for a little while. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but then he said, but you know what? I see where you're coming from. And I can see why the Warriors.
It took you a while too.
Would look into that
to get there. Yeah.
And that was the disagreement that we had. That we had to hash out. But I didn't say you're an idiot, Rich. How dare you? Question me? Come on, like that's not the way we work, man. Oh, you guys know that. But yeah, but we have a lot of depth too, in terms of what Gail's saying. Small window for Chip, maybe, but a lot of aging, expensive pieces. But again, we'll see how CP3 works out. There's still that opportunity to have serious free agent money available. We have a lot of depth. We have a lot of depth on this team, and we still have some really, really good young pieces. Namely, Moody and Wiggins and Looney and Moody and Wiggins and Kuminga and Looney. But a small window for another title, if you get that, I mean, that's worth it all, you know. I don't skip Shannon. I don't know, man. I don't think. I don't know. So, no. Oh, Ty Jerome has 4 years of experience. Yeah, is that right, Ty Jerome?
Sorry, I'm busy tweeting.
Yeah, you're right. Ty Jerome can't be on the two-way. You know, that's right. Yeah, I'm not sure why he dropped down to 57. I don't know. That happens sometimes too, where
I think it's like because he played 4 years, like that's kind of a bad thing now in terms of you're not a young phenom that has a super high ceiling. That's my theory.
I just don't get that though. You know, most of the great players in NBA history played 3 years in college.
Yeah, but they're more looking at the exciting, you know, I don't know, right? It's just kind of the flavor these days is to get the young phenom with the high ceiling. It's more exciting. We'll sell more tickets.
Yeah, until they start playing and they're inexperienced, and you lose a bunch of games. Like G League players, and international players are valid because they have professional experience.
OKC isn't losing a ton of games, and they're pretty young.
No, that's true. That is true. But A, they have Shea, you know, which helps a lot. And B, they have developed a certain culture with all these young guys where they have enough picks where there's every expectation to try and win as much as possible, it feels like. And they've run through a lot of young players who didn't really work. You know, they just have so many draft picks that they can just keep going and going. I don't want to say a lot, but, you know, that's not generally the way I would look to build a real contender. You know, I mean, OKC, they have to build through the draft. You know, because they lost KD, Harden, Westbrook. You know, so they don't really have a veteran to compliment. But 57 just because he played 4 years, that seems to be an overcorrection against 4-year players who like, I get that sometimes they're 4-year players because they can't really make the league easily, but sometimes they're 4-year players because they like want to help their team win, and they like going to school, and they're, you know, I think they're mature enough to understand that they can take a lower salary, go to a better team. Sorry, what were you saying?
Took a lot of guts for TJD to go that route. I mean, I don't know the details, and I'm not an expert. I don't watch the NCAA.
Yeah.
But
I don't watch.
On the surface, I feel like staying 4 years just has that stigma. And so to do that.
Oh, I agree. That it does. I just don't think it should.
And your agent is probably saying, no, go pro. So
yeah, sure. But I'm glad that we were able to get him because he seems like a good guy, and he was an excellent rebounder, wasn't he? He was averaging like 11 rebounds a game. And they said with Jayski, with Podziemski, that they thought rebounding really translates well, and I think maybe they hadn't made the trade for TJD yet, but I kind of agree. If you get a guy who can really rebound in college, there's a little bit of athletic speed adjustment, everything, obviously, to the NBA. But good rebounders, those skills like rebounding, defense, passing, they tend to translate pretty well. You know,
TJD. Oh, and Podziemski talked about that a lot. Rebounding, passing, all like basic things.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
reminded the media that
yeah.
you can do all those things. But 11 rebounds was TJD.
I think so. Here, I'll try and.
But I know for a fact, Podziemski 8.8 rebounds per game for a guard at the NCAA level.
Oh, it's incredible. And
These are
Steph,
48-minute games.
Steph surely noted that he was from Santa Clara, where Steve Nash is one of his favorite players is from too.
That's an incredible number. 8.8 rebounds a game for a guard. Wow. At the NCAA.
Yeah, so in 32 and a half minutes of play in college, which would be divided by 40, that would be about 39 minutes a game in the NBA. TJD averaged 6.3 defensive rebounds and 2.8 offensive rebounds from 9.1 rebounds per game. Also, he had slightly more assists than turnovers, which is difficult to find in a big man. Averaged 18 points a game, 2.1 blocks, 0.7 steals, about 67% from the line. Didn't really shoot threes. Okay efficiency from two, 56.6%, which tells me there might be some jump hooks and kind of more mid-range stuff a little bit in there. More than just the alley-oop offensive rebound type guy. But if both those guys average half of that, that's still 8 rebounds a game, 9 rebounds a game, combined for the team. And again, I love rebounders because I think you have to have a feel for the game to be a good rebounder, at least the defensive end. Not always, but Podzilla. I like that too.
Nice. Who said that?
Gail the Snail.
All right.
Do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rich?
Huh?
Do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No. What is that?
That's where the character Gail the Snail is from.
Okay.
It's got Danny DeVito.
What's it called? Philadelphia what?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. It's kind of edgy, dark comedy, but it's pretty intelligent. I have no idea. I watch it on Hulu. I'm a millennial cord cutter. Well, oh wait, no, it's on. I'm sorry, I do know it's on FX. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been on for like 15, 16 years. Somewhere.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Kind of in South Park vein, maybe a little bit. But anyway, also TJD, he's listed here in College Basketball Reference 6'9", 245. That's big, man. That's like Looney size.
Oh, the beat writers that were at the introduction at Chase Center, they all said he looks taller than 6'9". He just does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there could be, I don't think you stop growing completely until you're 25. Also, sometimes just being really large makes you look taller, but it doesn't. A lot of these guys' heights are a little, maybe a little exaggerated here or there. Like Kevin Durant's probably 7 feet tall, 7'1". He's listed as 6'10" or 11. So yeah, but so did Klay Thompson's. Klay Thompson's dad played in the NBA. He couldn't shoot, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited based on the kind of maturity and commitment that these guys seem to have shown. Also, Pods was he was 2 years in college, right? He wasn't one and done, was he? I don't think he was.
Because he didn't play at Illinois, so then he transferred to Santa Clara.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's officially 2 years, but he only really played 1 year because he didn't play.
But he didn't play. That's an experience to go through basketball wise. You know?
Oh, and the other thing, he picked up a basketball 7 years ago. Like what? Middle school, and that's it? Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, you know,
you're
sometimes
really good.
hey, but sometimes what do they say?
Yeah,
There's
turns
no
out
zealot like the convert, you know? So you know,
man, you're a walking encyclopedia. I love it.
thank you, Rich. But I mean that, you know, sometimes it takes you a while, but people were pushed into it when they were 4 or whatever. I mean, sometimes they love it too, but yeah, I mean, that just tells me how hard he's had to work, really, more than anything else. You know,
Yeah.
to also the Warriors just love Milwaukee guys. There's constant stream of dudes from Milwaukee, so of course we picked a Milwaukee guy. In fact, let's see. I think 21 was the only time we didn't pick a Milwaukee guy in the last 5 drafts, right?
Oh, wait, 2020? Yeah, maybe we didn't get Milwaukee there in 2020. But 2019, Jordan Poole. 22,
Patrick Baldwin, you know, Podziemski here, Kevon Looney, Milwaukee guy. So, yeah, we got some, tough Midwesterners out there. Zach Edey. Yeah, he's definitely interesting. But that's, I mean, who knows where we're going to be in the draft or anything like that, you know, how high or low he'll be picked, you know. Tested faster at the combine than TJD. It's interesting. But, I mean, combine isn't always the end-all, be-all of everything, you know. Yeah, exactly, Rich.
Now looking for Cholo's comment, and I can highlight. There we go. Thanks, brother. That's pretty funny. I like it. Still got 51 on the channel. Not bad.
Okay, but which one of us is supposed to be Skip?
Oh, gosh. No, let's not do that. No. It's
I get it.
Yeah. By the way, we'll be back Thursday. Are you going to be around Thursday, Dean?
Thursday? Let me check here. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Because Thursday we're going to be back live here, next live at, I believe, 3:30 p.m. Pacific for the TNT, the match. Steph and Clay
Yes, sir.
versus Mahomes and Kelsey. That should be very entertaining. And I'm sure there's other news to talk about when they're out there. And during commercials, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
I have work on Thursday, Rich.
Oh, too bad. That's okay. But
Yeah.
good thought.
Although if it's at 3:30, I might be able to come on a little bit
Cool.
before I go. But we'll see. Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little tough. But I'll try. I'll do my best to be able to make it for a little bit.
Let's see. Oh, and you know what's going to be fun as well? I'm just finally getting to the part where someone mentioned PBJ in the comments. When we play Washington, that's like a must-see be on here again for the live stream for that. But man, that's going to be fun, isn't it? See them. Who knows if Rollins is going to get any minutes with the Wizards, but Jordan Poole will probably be a starter, and just to see them.
Oh, in the regular season? Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I want to see the I don't know. I don't think the team's gonna do anything but react positively for JP. I mean, they must know that it's a difficult position for him to be in. And hey, man, I'm just glad that JP's got a ring on his finger. He's going to Washington as a champion. Yep. See if we can help CP get a ring, man. Draymond always said he loves watching guys win it for the first time. Can you imagine if CP3 wins a ring with the Warriors? What that would be like? Like, hey, man, your career is completely different.
Yeah.
Your career has changed completely forever.
Oh, Gail the Snail. Did you see that comp? TJD reminds me of Anthony Mason. Okay.
I don't really know.
It does not remind me of Anthony Mason, but I haven't seen a lot of TJD yet. But that's definitely a positive, complimentary type of comp. So appreciate that. It's kind of
TJD and MDJ.
Nice to envision. But I understand the comparison in terms of the offensive skills with the passing. Mace could really dribble too. It's just that he's so stocky, built like a linebacker, and not as tall, and looks like a center type. Whereas Anthony Mason looked more like a wide power forward, like Larry Johnson-ish.
Yeah, we're not relying on these guys to really have to do anything at this point. That was a little different than the way we went into the season with all the young guys. Because Moody's proven enough, and Kuminga, obviously, he's been in the league 3 years now, and really has been professional for 4. So these guys are nice to have. I'm excited for them, but we also don't have to play them. And I hope they play a ton in G League, because that would mean the Warriors are fairly healthy and allows them to get some run against some really good competition and build their chemistry together. So, yeah. And that Nails, I get what you're implying, but negative comments are really disrespectful comments. You don't have to type them. There's no reason you have to do that. Will it always be out there? Yeah. But you don't have to do that. So no one's asking you to negate your voice. But you also have to wear clothes when you go into restaurants. That doesn't negate your body or something. I don't know. Just there's no reason to be disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm just going down the comments.
Very simple.
Gale's turned a little negative. What happened?
I don't know.
Started out good, but I'm just catching up. Let's see. Podziemski ain't getting boards in the NBA. Why not root for him? I don't understand why you would type that. Okay. Especially no one's keeping track here. If he doesn't get boards in the NBA, we're not coming back here and going, "Oh, remember Gale the Snail? What a prediction! Wow, give him or her an award." That's not happening. So I thought we were.
Well, wait, why does Gale the Snail's a girl? So why does she think that he's not going to get boards?
I don't think that. Yeah, exactly. That's not part of the thought process, is it? It's just to say something to bring him down a notch when we're all here trying to root for our team and go rah 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 for our team.
Yeah. But again, Mr. Alzak, sometimes people just saying what they think can be a hateful tirade. You know? You get what I mean? Like, so, like, I'm not saying that's what Nails is. Yeah, but what we're saying is why it's more peaceful than Twitter. You know? Anyway, I think we should get to the Draymond stuff if you're willing.
Yeah, I'm almost caught up on the comments, which is perfect timing.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. He's not going to get 8 rebounds a game, I think. You're right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But he seems to have an ability to rebound the ball, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Oh, Amy, we're streaming whenever the Warriors do anything. I'm pretty sure about that. Again, I don't want to speak for Rich, but we'll be around.
Yeah, the whole it is not rational or coherent to say don't be negative, and it is not possible. I mean, try at least. Whatever, man. All right, then, just be negative, and by then I'll have enough of it that I'll just delete all those. So, whatever. George Orwell, okay. You quoting George Orwell doesn't make you better than anybody. Oh, gosh. What happened to Nails? Jeez. We started out with positivity, too. And then that went sour.
You know.
I don't even know what happened.
I assume it's a he. He's new here, you know.
Quite timid compared with Twitter. Okay. We'll be timid. There you go, labeling us again. No, you're timid.
No, there's a reason for that, though. He's right, and there's a reason.
Oh, you gave me a
reason. Just have to relax.
Golly, you guys really just comment anything. You don't even think about it. The first negative thought that comes in your head, and you're thumb typing it. Think about that for a second. Oh boy, that's what we're trying to avoid here. Because
here's a great thing for Parth. I'm not sure even the Spurs and Jazz will be playing for the lottery in the West, at least. Maybe Portland will be but even then, you know, they might decide to roll with Scoot and you know, try and put some nice pieces around him from a Lillard trade, just because it seems like Damian Lillard's been hinting like, look, we either need to make a move to get some veterans around me, or I gotta go to try. And he's been there for so long trying to win the championship. And I don't really understand why the Blazers haven't been a little bit more successful getting with the talent they have and getting other talent too. But yeah, so all
right.
It's going to be incredible in the West. There's going to be like one team or two that are not trying to win. You know,
Dame stays in Portland. And, I would find it surprising if Dame was like, okay, you didn't go get the vet, you stuck with the third pick, and I'm done. I don't know. That would surprise me, but I guess some of the stuff that's coming out, whether it's Chris Haynes came out with some stuff. Of course, he's really close with Dame. Dame will go text him before anybody else, just because he knows he respects Chris, and he knows that, you know, the speed of light of the NBA journalism competition. Oh, they met 2 hours ago. He tweeted that they met. Cool. Had a great dialogue. And then before that,
sorry, who met? Oh, it's not on the screen, by the way.
Dame and Sorry, keep forgetting. Damian Lillard and Aaron Goodwin, his agent, and GM Joe Cronin met. And then Chris Haynes also said earlier than that something about where Dame didn't want it to be like a super team type deal, and he'd rather just have a team trying to compete and stuff like that. So is that Portland? Is that somewhere else? And there's Miami. We don't know, but they met, so that's good news for Portland.
Yeah.
And so we are now at the 2:35 mark. So let's put that in the comments on Dame Lillard. And then now let's talk about Draymond, unless there's other stuff you guys want to talk about. Let's see. All right. Pride night. It's Pride month.
Yep.
Cool. I'm all caught up. So yeah, let's talk about Draymond. There was Cameron and Mace, the former. They were with Bad Boy, right? With P. Diddy and Puff Daddy and all of them.
Yeah.
They have a podcast, and they're wearing suits when they podcast, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know, is that their way of trying to make the podcast more official, or what's up with that? Strange, but they have a podcast, and what happened was, let me try and find. I can run the audio for you guys. I won't do the video. Let's see. Where is it? Sorry about this. Gotta go find it. There it is. Okay, you guys ready? I'm gonna play this in the background. The audio. Maybe if it works. It's not working. Hold on. Here we go. Went to Twitter.
Hearing him say not guaranteed.
Here, let's go
and
back.
from all the things that I was hearing him
Cameron.
say not guaranteed, but they were saying there's reasons Draymond punched him in his face. They said the first day he told Draymond Green, Michigan and Michigan State have beef. Draymond Green's from Michigan State. He's from Michigan. He told
That's already a
Draymond,
lifetime rivalry.
Right. He told Draymond, I fuck more bitches in Michigan State than you went there. And then they was running sprints or something. He told Draymond, don't worry about it. You'll be in Sacramento next year. Then he told Draymond.
That's crazy.
Then he told Draymond, why is your Twitter handle Money Green when you broke and you're not going to get a new contract? And that's the one that broke the camel's back when he ended up punching him in the face. So a lot of stuff.
So that was a cover-up then.
That's what they're saying, and Draymond couldn't talk about it. So it's a lot.
That's the end of it. And I'm going to put the link in the comments right here. Hang on. So I hit up some people, and I got 2 people from Draymond's camp. One said it was a lie. The other one said, in effect, oh, they're doing whatever they want just to get clicks. So basically 2 people from Draymond's camp saying that's a lie. That whole thing was a lie. There you go. That's the insider thing. That's all I need to know. Done with that. Fake news. So don't believe everything you see on Twitter. Obviously.
The thing is, man, Draymond himself said there were some things going on with my family that put me in a bad mood already, and I have not heard what any of those are.
I have, but I only know a tiny bit. And I can't really say it.
I don't even really want to speculate about something that has nothing to do with basketball anyway.
Every family goes through stuff. So
Draymond punched Jordan, and that was wrong. And Jordan did not reestablish the relationship with the players that he had before. I mean, the other players other than Draymond. There was just some tension there. And it's taken care of. It's over now. So let's stop talking about this. punch thing and get onto like, let's see how we win, how we get back what we had. Because listening to that, like, if what they're saying is true, then Draymond, there must have been something else going on, because that's like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, who cares? You know, you get money and like I'm Draymond Green, you know, like why would that? That's just crazy. If it's not true, as the sources that you were saying, you're just making stuff up about
Exactly.
two guys' lives, you know, for probably one of the darkest moments of their whole career, for both of them. For what? You know, for what? Clicks? I mean, come on, man. So, yeah, I thought I was going to be interested to hear what it was, but that just made me a little uneasy or something, you know? I mean, thank you for playing it, Rich. But just rampant speculation about everything these days, you know? I like speculating about trades and stuff, free agents, but people's personal life, I'm good. I'm good on that.
So, anyways, there's some myth busting. There it is.
Yeah, thank you. As per usual.
Yeah, because if it wasn't, you know, immediately obliterated as a lie, then it would have been a different response. But yeah, so let's go into stuff like, oh, what about Sacramento? They've cleared out cap space for that. You know, I think we just go back to the basics, the kind of the elephant in the room type stuff, which is that Draymond wants to play with Steph and Clay, and he wants to ride out with the same guys he rode in with. And I tend to believe that hasn't changed much.
That a lot, yeah.
Said that a lot. And so I people who want to think that he's going to leave and that Sacramento might be a good destination, you know, I get it. Go ahead, think that. But I'm going to think that he's coming back, because the way I process this, I just think he's coming back because that's the biggest factor, is that he wants to win a championship, and he knows that, you know, he's already got some the shared brain with Steph on the court, also with Clay. You're bringing in CP3, highly intelligent guy as well, dependable guy in the playoffs, in crunch time situations. And with Draymond, it just, even if he went to Sacramento, him staying with the Warriors, the path to the championship is clear. Him going to Sacramento, the path to the championship is pretty good, but it's not clear.
Well, we have to say it
Right?
too. He'd have to mend relations with Sabonis probably as well.
Right.
You know?
I think they could. Just like
Yeah, I think so too. But
any other, yeah.
I mean, LA, you know, the LeBron thing. I get that, but I don't know what Draymond's going to do. But if I were in a position to make suggestions or something like that to the Warriors, it'd be, don't let that guy walk for anything. Because, again, it's also just the Steph Curry connection too, and the Klay Thompson connection, the Coach Kerr connection, and the, you know, the being the legend of the Warriors team. You know, I mean, he's only a few years left, and he'll have a statue with this organization no matter what. So, why change? Why change that now? You know, why change horses in midstream, man? You know, yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't change him in midstream. Yeah, I don't think so either, Parth. I hope not. Maybe he will. I can't, I can't say that he won't, but I hope he won't. I hope I want Draymond, Steph, Clay on this team for life, man. Or, for the rest of their careers, I mean, obviously. And no, I don't think the Wizards are the worst franchise in the league. I actually think they probably should have done this a while back. And, the Bradley Beal era Wizards, where they were stuck between like 7th and 10th, 12th, never really being low enough to get a high pick, and never really being good enough to get out of the first round or out of the play-in, especially with the guy in Bradley Beal's contract. I mean, he's making like 50-something million a year, which is like Damian Lillard type money. And I think him being in Phoenix is the position he should have been in for years. Second or third, awesome scoring option, with another star. But just throwing what's it called in football, franchise tag or something like that. Just throwing that around to anybody who can average 30. That's not a way to build. Getting young talent and stockpiling draft assets when you don't have a path forward. That's a much more reasonable way to go. And then you do what you can to. I mean, DC really should be a more attractive destination for free agents anyway. DC is a great city. It's the metro area is like the 4th largest, 5th largest in the U.S. It's it should be there with Boston, New York, and DC in terms of like Eastern Seaboard. Important city and everything like that. They just haven't been able to do it, largely because they've been stuck in the middle for 40 years. Like 40 years, really. Or been kind of bad, and they've had some bad luck. But, yeah. I don't know if I really want to say who I think the worst organization is, but I don't think it's Washington. Why would you trade Clay and Dray for Cat, Gail? I don't. You're going to make me salt you. Please don't make me salt you, Gail. I don't want to salt this. No one likes to salt the snail. But Dray and Clay for Cat? No. That's a hard no. Thanks. I don't mean to be rude.
Cat is ruined. What is that? Jeez. We're not saying things about people's private lives on here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Let me delete that one. It's not a ban. It's a delete. Cat is ruined because of his girl. Like, what? Don't be gossiping like that. People gossiping about you.
That's definitely true. Yeah.
Oh, man. This guy's late. Cosmo, we already talked about that. Brought your negativity on at the last minute.
Thank you, Cosmo. Broken legs. Hey, maybe all you guys are right. It's a terrible trade. We still gave ourselves financial flexibility, though.
Yep.
So, but Mike Dunleavy, is going to have to, fair or not, he's going to have to earn the trust of Dub Nation. But I like the moves he's been making so far.
Yeah, and Vitor in the comments, I thought made the best comment tonight of CP3, which is I'm excited to see their handshake between Steph and CP3, and that's kind of what we are all about at Let's Go Warriors, and we're kind of different.
Yeah,
we go into the first game with Steph and CP3, and we're literally looking for their handshake. That's like our mission in life for that moment. Like nobody else does that.
There's going to be so many Warriors commercials, by the way, too. There's going to be, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, CP3.
No, is it State Farm? State Farm,
yeah. Like a good neighbor. Chris Paul's on your team.
Jake with State Farm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Hey, maybe he'll grow a mustache and it'll be Cliff. You know, we're ready to have some fun with this.
And Steph will have a version of Cliff, but mustache with the with the Steph.
Yep. Steph is no longer the oldest or the smallest player on the team, too. So, gotta feel good about that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great point.
Their body bump. Yeah. Also, Steph doesn't have to ever be defended by Chris Paul during the regular season, at least, which is, that's nice. Look, man, this guy's tough. He's going to have that warrior, tough. I got to say, I keep saying Marquise Chris, who I still love because he's a bit of an enforcer type. I also think, can you imagine if we had JTA too? I mean, he's available.
Yeah. People were mentioning that, but here's my thing is if I'm JTA and I want to just kind of spread my wings out there, I get it. I get it that if he doesn't want to come back here just because you're going to be, he's checked that box off. He won a ring this way. And there's guys out there that want to spread their wings and really get a chance to, Jordan Poole now looking at it. Oh, I got traded to the Wizards. Well, now you get to spread your wings really and maybe make an all-star.
Yeah, you're the number one offensive player on that team right now.
JTA, he's in Utah, but now he's a free agent.
He was around the Warriors a lot in the playoffs, so he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just wanted to, because we don't get JTA, then people are gonna blame Mike Dunleavy and this, that. Oh, we should have got this.
Oh yeah,
I'm just trying to let you know ahead of time that hey, maybe JTA isn't all that enthused about coming here and having limited minutes again, and maybe wants to do a little bit more somewhere, and it's all good. Whatever you decide.
That's fun.
And it comes back to same mentality when KD left. It's the same thing, and I know that a lot of people just hate that.
When KD left. What do you mean?
Yeah, so KD wants to do his thing. Let people do their thing is my thing. So JTA would be great on this team, but if he's not, I'm okay with that too because it didn't happen. It's all good.
Definitely, and I
that's from the player perspective. That's really, been around basketball long enough. Been in NBA locker rooms. It's they don't think like fans do. Right? Fans have this thing where they're supposed to follow a legacy of some sort. It's like it doesn't work that way in real life. I'm just trying to open people's eyes.
No, it is a job too, and sometimes you just yearn for something else,
Yeah.
And obviously the hometown thing can be great. It can also feel kind of like suffocating, where you actually want to go out and play somewhere else, especially if you accomplish things. But I do think that JTA, because he was around the playoffs a lot with the Warriors on NBC Sports, right? A little bit. I do think there's still that relationship there where you have a chance to bring back this really tough, very loyal, multi-faceted, Swiss Army knife type player like JTA, and I would absolutely go after him. If he doesn't want to come, that's totally on him. But I would definitely make, with the limited resources the Warriors have, I would definitely make an offer for him. I think he would. I mean, yeah. So let's just say, just to explain what I mean, like Kristen and Toscano Anderson, I don't know how many minutes they're going to play or anything like that, but those are very tough, very selfless type of guys from what I saw from them. And what you hope for is that next year, all the problems that we have will be just on the court. But the locker room, the dedication, the commitment, the focus, the experience, just the toughness and force or whatever the need that you play the game with, that will not be in question. That is something where the way this roster looks like it's being built out, I think that's something they're really trying to address. And you get the right personnel, man. Look, we want our team to come out and fight like the Heat while playing the style of the Nuggets, and we can do it. We can do it. We know we can do that. Whether we be as successful as those teams, who knows? But yeah, we can play with the
Fight like the Heat while playing like the Nuggets. Another nugget from Dean.
golden nugget.
Okay.
Nails, I don't think they're going to start CP3. Personally, I just think that's too small, too old as your starting backcourt. But I can definitely see that lineup closing games for sure.
Yep.
You guys mentioned 2016. Like, why? You think we're going to win?
Something
73?
above. It was 2016. Definitely not 2016 anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a reference to 2016 Chris Paul. I don't know.
I don't even remember what happened in 2016.
No, I mean that CP was much younger and probably no brainer to be a starter back then.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that's what they're talking about.
Cool.
We got 3.5 more minutes just to get to 3 hours.
Oh yeah. Yep. Got to hit the round numbers here.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Parth, for doing the roster. And then the Mike 1212. Do you guys think they will attempt to sign a big? Yes. And largely, mainly because MDJ, Mike Dunleavy Jr., said it on the podium that it was obvious they needed to. So they'll go out and try and find a vet man. We're all hoping it'd be probably number one on everybody's list if there was a ranking. Kevin Love would be pretty cool. Him and Clay are buddies. And then there's a whole bunch of others. Dean and Amy want Marquise Chris. There's JTA out there, which would be great. Although he's not a big.
He's a forward. Yeah, he's a
filling out let's see, the roster here. Thanks to Parth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that 11? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on the books. Yep.
That's already a good 11. And then obviously including Draymond on there as coming back. So yeah, four more spots. I mentioned a couple other players I really like. Ingles, I think, would be awesome at a vet man. Derrick Rose would be cool. I mean, that's some old point guards on the team, but that's a lot of experience, man. Someone mentioned Trey Lyles. I kind of like that. A couple podcasts ago. I've been thinking about that.
Let's do this again. He's on what?
The screen's not up.
Oh, sorry. What? I keep doing that. What team is Trey Lyles on again? Minnesota?
He's on the Kings.
My fault.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Kyle Anderson, am I?
Yeah.
Those two are exactly the same.
Kyle Anderson's a little skinnier than
Trey Lyles comes off the books. Yep. Vet man, huh? What's the latest on him? Let's go click on him and click on rumors. According to Sean Cunningham, Kings have a hell of a decision with they certainly have a equally tough decision to make when it comes to someone like Trey. I would think Trey would want some kind of a raise, especially you have cap space from the Kings.
From the Kings, yeah, that can make sense.
Yeah.
But
So why would he come here for vet min when he deserves?
There's always the Otto Porter type,
and they have space.
Perfect fit, 1 year, raise your salary going into another contract.
Across 3 hours. Good job, dude. So on Trey Lyles, sack,
but just without any actual rumors of what he's going to do, just the fit in my head is what I was liking about it, because he's a little bit of small ball 5, stretch 4, rebounder, shooter type. I like that. I like that a lot. Someone brought it up, and I forgot who it was, but if you're listening, thank you. That was a very interesting suggestion.
Yeah, a few live streams back brought up.
Bringing Barnes back. We don't have any money. So
no. Like, how would you do that? 18 million. He's probably worth at least 15. Say he takes a pay cut. 12.
Well,
there's just no way.
Yeah, maybe after next year.
No, that's impossible. He's a free agent because he can't do sign and trade to us, hard cap. So a guy like Harrison Barnes is literally impossible to get.
Yeah, and there's not.
He's not going to go vet min
for $15 million.
Also,
I don't know if there's a trade that they want from us. I mean, if it was Looney and GP2, yeah, but can't trade Looney. Are you kidding me? No,
we can't even trade for Barnes because it'd be a sign and trade, wouldn't it?
Well, no, they're signing and trading him to us, so they get hard capped.
We get hard cap. D'Lo was signed and trade to us, so we got hard cap.
No, we I think we signed KD and traded him.
No, it's
really
because D'Lo got signed and traded to us, so we get hard cap. I'm 99% sure of that.
Well, we'll look it up.
I mean, I could be wrong, but now you're making me think I may be wrong, but pretty sure I'm right. Someone in the comments knows the answer to this and can look it up, because I want to talk about Otto Porter because you brought him up.
Oh yeah.
So I forget where I saw it. Now I got to search my Discord on Otto. I use Discord just for myself mainly. Occasionally, I'll let other people see what I'm thinking. But even Discord is not the safest.
You're right. I was wrong. You're right. It's the team acquiring the sign and trade is hard cap.
All right. Well, I have to just say I can't remember where I heard it, but just trust me that I got it from credible NBA journalists out there where basically, obviously, I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. Otto Porter,
that's right.
Another executive was saying that Otto Porter is like a sprained ankle and you're out 6 weeks problem waiting to happen for Toronto. Of course, this executive who knows what's going on with the Raptors, of course he would say that. I mean, that's obvious to all of us, right? So then I was thinking, wait a minute. That means they're going to be done with Otto Porter. Other NBA executives are probably done with Otto Porter. Man, Otto Porter is right there for us for the taking the year after next.
A little reunion,
nobody's going to want them. Nobody's going to want him. But we might want him.
Oh, I take him back for Batman. Yeah, that's high reward, low risk.
Going to get his stock is really doing.
And obviously he probably has some pretty good relationships here on the team. So yeah.
Mark it down, man. Otto Porter.
Yeah.
For 2024-25.
Rest up throughout the regular season. Just get ready for the final 2-3 months. 3-4 maybe June, May, April, March. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I loved OPJ, man.
Yeah,
I loved OPJ. And honestly, the reason he was hurt, by the way, is because he played so hard on an already slowly getting injured foot, I think, in the finals anyway, you know?
So anyways, it's funny because, again, that's turning negative news. Here's somebody throwing Otto Porter under the bus.
Mhm.
And I'm making it great news for us. I'm looking at that. I'm like, keep throwing them under the bus, because then
Go ahead.
and that'll just make it way more possible for us to nab them on a veterans minimum the year after next.
Yeah, he's injury prone for $10 million a year as a consistent top 10 rotation, but spot, dominant level spot player who's not pressured to have to play too much, that veteran kind of presence on the bench, because he was a great vet leader, it felt like, too. Some guys are kind of quiet and they just do their job, but OPJ felt like he was a really, really just a perfect fit for the team, really. And hey, size and shooting with toughness and intelligence. Like, they're not the same player, obviously, but if Andre Iguodala still has some value for the team, I think he does. And maybe not quite Udonis Haslem type role yet, but in that type of role, especially if he stops dunking, because I think he'll be less injured. Honestly, it's not even a joke. You can do the rehabilitation OPJ. I love that, Rich. I didn't even think about that, because he had that contract. I thought, oh man, we can't. But I bet there's a chance he'll be available for sure.
Yeah, and I'm just like, at first I'm like, oh man, you're throwing some NBA executives throwing LPJ under the bus, and I get it. I mean, they're gonna, because he's been injured the whole year and had to get another surgery. And that's what you do to injured players. You throw them under the bus, right? That's been in the NBA since the beginning of the league. But I'm reading that, and then all of a sudden I was like happy. I was like, oh, that might mean we can nab him back for a veterans minimum.
Absolutely.
Maybe, and let Dr. Celebrini work his magic and just, look, just having his presence. He'd be Andre Iguodala in the 15th spot all over again, kind of thing, where it's just like, oh, you're available to play now in spot minutes and during the regular season. It's not like I even really need to see him play. It's just him on the team. It's just got that championship feel, and that, if he'd be willing to do that, and and there's a good chance that Celebrini could work his magic. So,
well, hey man, I mean, he had his best season in a long time with the Dubs. Now he was 28, unbelievably. I know it felt like he was 33. He was like 28. He'd be a little bit older than that, but who cares? It's a vet min, He's look, the locker room value is enough. So I love it. I love it, Rich. Nails, you see how you came on just a minute ago and said, and not, less so that you guys are cool. Like, we're not fishing for compliments here or something, but like, I just want to talk about the Warriors and, just trying to tell you my opinion. There are so many people who will not do that. They won't even say, like, hey, let's just chat about the Dubs. That's all I really want to do, So, like, that's really, like, it feels like we have a high bar, like, hey, gotta be respectful. But really, it's a very low bar. Just be cool. And that was a very cool comment, Like, man, you're always welcome here, Yeah, that's fine. I get it's sports, so there's a little bit of competitiveness. B, it's sports, so it doesn't really mean anything. It's fun. This is just, we try and do information, but it's not about life and death. It's about basketball. It's about a kind of half art, half performance. So I get that, but you see the way the regulars. I'm not just talking to you, Neil. Everybody. You see the way the regulars on here, tend to be able to correct us because they are really knowledgeable about the game, or because they've built up so much trust that we believe them. Like, that's really why we're doing it more than anything else. I think. Again, Rich, this is Rich's channel. It's not mine, but
That's yours.
well, but I mean, you started it. You built the whole thing. I'm following your lead, Rich. But
Oh, I got you.
I think the reason you did that was so people could have a place to chat like this. I know your point wasn't to make yourself look better. I know that. Other people, that's what they're trying to do, though. It sounds crazy. For what reason? On a chat on YouTube? They're trying to prove that they're right to the world? I don't know. But like that's why it's so important for the Let's Go Warriors like channel, to put just like knowledge and respect first. So I'm happy that you're willing to try and see it our way, and we're definitely always try and see it your way too. Yeah.
We've talked about Montrezl Harrell, haven't we?
We did.
Oh,
We did.
doesn't really shoot threes, right?
No.
Yeah.
He's mostly a low post offensive type big.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we're almost done here, I think. Almost done here. But I did want to put that in the notes. Everything we've covered is in the description, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm. And after the stream, there'll be timestamps, right?
Yeah. And so in our offense, with Steph and Clay running around, you typically get a big open in the corner. So that's why in the Kerr system, it's more desirable if the big can hit a three. Granted, Looney doesn't really shoot any threes, and Draymond has suspect percentage out there of late.
Tall version of Pat Bev.
Yeah. But yeah, ideally you'd want your big, like J Mike in the corner hitting the open three.
Yeah. I mean, look, if Montrezl Harrell wants to come here for a bad man, it's an interesting idea. It's probably not.
And again, you got CP in the second unit, and maybe
Right.
now you can fit. So.
I would say it's not what I'm looking for, but if there's enthusiasm there, I'm not saying no to the concept of it. We'll see what other players seem hot or cold, obviously, on the Warriors when it gets closer to July 1st and obviously on July 1st. Yeah, I mean, my worry is that it's not the best instincts and things like that offensively and the way the Warriors play. But I love his energy and things like that. His commitment to the team and sometimes guys they really hit their stride, in a new environment. So it would definitely be interesting. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm open to all the possibilities. We've got 11 signed, and we'll probably go 14, wouldn't we? You always kind of want that flexibility going in, sign 14. That's what we kind of learned from Bob Myers the last couple of years. And even Dunleavy said it on the podium that when he was asked about Trayce, someone said, "Oh, is Trayce going to be one of 15?" I think Slater asked, and he said, "Yeah, but are we going to go with 15? It might be 14." So,
Well, I like the idea of trying to. Oh man, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do this next season. I mean, not this upcoming season, but 25. But going 14 throughout a lot of the year, and then trying to pick up a. No, it's only buyout guys. You can still sign guys off waivers, right? So maybe going in like from March onward, perhaps picking up a 15th spot, But I think throughout a lot of the year we'll be at 14. I don't know that. It's just a guess.
So anyways, Robin Lopez, veterans minimum, looks like it. So, yeah. But 11 signed so far, 3 more to go, right? Is Andre going to retire? What about J-Mike? What about Anthony Lamb? But we talked about, Ty Jerome.
He's not you can't be on a 2-way.
So it can't be 2-way. You might get away with Anthony Lamb on a 2-way again, depending on what other offers he gets.
He might be not eligible either.
Oh, really? You guys
talked
about that earlier.
Yeah.
Hernan Gomez. What team is he on?
That's
I think he makes more than minimum.
Wancho? You talking about?
Don't know.
Who is that? Hernan Gomez. Someone mentioned his first name. There's 2 of them, Wancho Hernan Gomez rather than
Toronto Raptors. Okay, so we'll go to Toronto. Go look at Toronto, and I should put that in the background.
Oh no, Lamb still could be on a 2-way for one more season.
All right. One Hernan Gomez here, and then where's the other Hernan Gomez? What's his name? Anyways.
Billy.
Oh, right. What team is he on?
I think the Pelicans.
Why is he not? When I look up Hernan Gomez NBA, why is he totally forgotten?
I don't know.
Pelicans.
If you look up Curry, Seth doesn't come up though. So unfortunately, he should. I'd love to sign Seth too, by the way, but I
team
don't.
Option. If I remember correctly, he played pretty well. Probably going to get. We'll see.
I like Wancho Hernan Gomez though as a fit, definitely.
Yeah.
Either one. Size with shooting. I liked him on the Jazz. Is he not playing? Yeah.
JV. All right. Who's not playing?
I think Cholo's saying that Willie Hernan Gomez is not playing really. Let's see. Yeah, and also Wancho Hernan Gomez is an actor. That's right.
All right. Making the Santa Cruz Warrior under normal circumstances. So that's Vaughn Johnson. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
We'll figure it out next week.
That's a summer league signing. I think it wasn't a full deal. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, none of those summer league guys you should have high expectations for. We go through that every year. You fall in love with a guy.
Yeah.
And turns out he didn't make it either. Every year.
Or some of them do make it, but it's so hard to predict who it's going to be. I mean, it's just enjoy watching the summer league. And
just enjoy.
I mean, I love Justinian, Jessup, and all that, and
Yeah.
or
The exciting thing is we get to see
Jacob Evans.
TJD, TJD and BP, our draft picks in action, and I think that's just because we hardly ever saw him play, and now we get to see him in a Warriors uniform.
And not too long. It's in like what, 2 weeks?
A week,
right? A week.
1 week.
Yeah.
Sacramento. We're gonna go live here with
Absolutely. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, man, basketball doesn't stop, and the Warriors. This is an exciting team. You know, so many things could have gone a lot worse than they've been going right now. They really could have, and I'm not going to be able to rest really completely until I know that Draymond's back on the team. But I'm just feeling positive and excited about this brand new look and adding another Hall of Famer. Like we have another first ballot Hall of Famer on our roster. We added one. I know he's old. I know. But still, that has to count for something, you know?
All right, I'm going to do a quick restroom break, but if there's anything you want to close with, feel free.
Vitor, man. That's
Jeff Green? I don't think Jeff Green's coming here.
Wow.
He just won a championship, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's trying to play on every team in the league, it feels like. At least once. So I mean, I'd be happy with that. He seems like a great leader, and obviously the kind of fight that he had to have just to play in the league after that heart condition with the big scar down his chest. You know, that takes real dedication and heart, obviously, you know, but yeah, I mean, I would be against it, but I think he'll probably stick with the defending champs, just as a guess. I mean, why not? You know. But Vitor, man, you know, I feel the same way a lot too. I mean, I love being on here, as you can tell. But even when I'm at work or going to work or something, you know, or watching the game, and you know, I'm not on the podcast itself. Just like I see you guys' names and I see what you think, and well, you know, sometimes we'll have people from the chat on, and I'm so, you know, I'm so happy that we can help you and anyone with that feeling of community and friendship and things like that. But also, like, just the quality too. It's crazy, you know. There are places where you can find community, and that's like, those places are terrible for you to be in. You know what type of things I'm talking about that people fall for. But the people on here and just what this channel's about, it's just awesome, man. Like, you're my real friends, you know, even though we haven't met in real life. You guys are the best, man.
Pretty cool.
You guys are the best. So, and so is Rich, you know.
Well, you and I had met in real life, and turned out pretty awesome. So, like,
that was fun. Yep.
It's just almost like serendipitous. Like, of all things, I happen to be in LA. Why the heck am I meeting with a guy from the comments? You know, why not, right? And look at, he's a freaking co-host now, coming up. You know, the walking encyclopedia with. Go look in the description right now. You find at least 3-4 nuggets that he said already.
And well, also, what's the chance that, you know, I would have come across your channel and that's the one that was such a perfect fit for me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's also, like, I get what you're saying, you know, like, you had this channel up for years and he's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm Dean, sure, whatever, you know, meet with him in a coffee shop. And yet, you know, I don't know. I think I personally think that things are kind of meant to happen. You know, I don't know. There's some rhythm to the universe that makes sense. Whatever you want to think about that, it just like Rich was saying earlier. There's always a silver line, and sometimes that silver lining isn't just there to make you feel happy. It actually opens up everything good for you to come. You know, or without that, it doesn't happen. Like Steph's ankle injuries. You think he wanted to go through that? You think he was okay with it after they got Kevin Durant? You know?
It's awesome, Dean.
Thank you, man.
Brought up a perfect example there.
Well, I learned from the best, Rich.
Anything else? Let's see. Ooh, I know, huh? Oh man, yeah, can't wait for that. I got to work on it this week because this weekend I was just dealing with family, which was great. But coming up this week, I've got all these boxes ready to send out to the rest of the people. Nicole, I guess she can come on tonight, but Nicole, we got something going out to her again and a whole bunch of other people. So we've got some stuff coming up for that, and I can't wait to get done with that, and then I can kind of revamp the probably starting in training camp. Finally, we get the whole giveaway process going again. Get some Warriors t-shirts out there and whatnot, little trinkets. We still got some good stuff like Marcus Thompson's book, Golden. We still got a few copies of those left to send out. So those become kind of the main ones. So so we'll wrap it up here. Can't wait for preseason and just summer league. I can't wait. That's next week.
Oh man, free agency. Honestly, the match. I'm excited for the match too.
Yeah.
I want to see Klay Thompson play golf.
Steph and Klay together.
Yeah.
It's Klay being on TV. Wow, we're gonna have some funny stuff.
Oh my god. He's gonna like almost get a putt in or something in the first round. He's gonna hold his golf club and get all angry. Then he's gonna make it and do something crazy. Run around high five. Klay's just Klay. You just put him on TV and let him go. No script. It'll be gold. I don't know how he does it, honestly. And the underrated documentary. That's right. Yeah.
July 21st for that one.
Thank you, Steph. Give us something to talk about right in the middle of the doldrum.
22nd. Let's see. Capital One's the match. What time is it at, though?
It's at 3:30.
Yep,
I think.
3:30. Yep.
Yeah.
We can get out of here just in case.
3:30 Pacific. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do next. If you want to come back and join us for the chat again, the best part about it is just seeing the regular people.
Absolutely. Oh, someone did mention Utah Watanabe, by the way.
Is he a vet man?
Yeah, he was. Although
I think he's looking for a raise, right? Because he played well for Brooklyn.
He did.
So that might
I want to see too. He was undrafted in 2018. So, yeah, I think he's probably not looking for another. I mean, he could be a 1 year raise the stock kind of guy, but that tends to be older players, not someone who's 28 years old. But I like the idea. I do like that idea. Some good Japanese players in the league. Rui Hachimura, Yuta Watanabe. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see who starts. Thank you, Amy.
So let's see. All right. I just screenshotted some great comments from everybody. Dean, Vitor, Cholo. Too bad we didn't get Nicole on here for a little bit. But we did start late. She's 3 hours ahead of us.
Right.
So let's see. Thanks, everybody. To close out JV, we'll just have to see. We talked about some. Go look in the description of this video, and you'll see some of the big men that we talked about. But, free agency starts on Saturday. Yeah, free agency starts on Saturday. So go check your Twitter, or probably better to just have Bleacher Report app, to be honest with you. At least that's a little bit more safer to have real information than usual. But cool.
L6 CP is going to start. All right. Interesting.
Okay. All right, everybody. So friendly reminder, see you Thursday. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Appreciate you, Dean.
Absolutely.
And,
anytime, Rich.
In case you missed it, the poll was done, and looked like we had 68% were okay. No, 61%. So I saved that, and
That was a flip from draft night too, right? It was mostly no. It was like 52% no or something, right? Yeah. People coming around on the idea.
All right, Justice 1, 2, 3, people, we're out of here. So we'll see you maybe Monday, Dean. Are you around Monday?
Oh, and I might be able to.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit on Thursday, yeah. But Monday I'm off. Yeah.
All right. Take care, people.
Just us.